Bună dimineața, prieteni, la video 27 din seria Genshin Girls, ghidul începătorului pentru ăștia ca noi care nu suntem experți. Băgăm Natlan Actul 2 astăzi, da? O să facem toate Arc Conquest-urile până la sfârșitul lunii, disponibile în joc. Și după aia o să trecem la Story Quests și World Quests. E mult de făcut. Dar Conquest Lines cred că reprezintă un 20-30% din ce poate fi făcut. Am băgat pe Bennett în echipă pentru că obține un Elemental Resonance care ne dă 25% atac. O să vă arăt. Deci acest atac 25% e bun. Rezonanța Pyro. Facem tot ce putem pentru că caracterele noastre au început să se dea un pic în greu. Nu foarte tare, dar recurgem la toate tertipurile posibile până când începem mai încolo, după ce terminăm Arc Quest Lines, să farmăm pentru artefacte. Însă, mora, asta îmi lipsește. L-am adus pe Bennett până la 70, dar n-am reușit să fac mai mult la el, că nu mai am mora. Totuși, atacul e 1300, e bun. Weaponul lui trebuie upgradat. Again, n-am mora, încerc să fac și eu ce pot. Deocamdată materialele domeniul închis. Că se aducă fluta lui ăsta la 70-80. Armă altă mai bună n-am pentru el deocamdată, rămâne cu asta. L-am făcut și pe Ether, l-am rezonat cu Hydro momentan ca să pot să fac niște Pyro Regis Vines și să-l folosesc pe Ether ca Hydro character. Jalning rămâne în echipă, i-am adus lui Jalning. A durat ceva, dar și cred că asta a consumat multă rășină. M-am adus pe Aeronado la nivelul 7. Uite că putem să-l aducem chiar la 8. Ar fi super. Și Goba trebuie neapărat și el upgradat. Deci Jalning dă damage foarte bun. Dar Jalning cu Bennett fac o echipă foarte bună împreună. Când e vorba de monștri care sunt nu sunt rezistenți la Pyro. Bun, începem cu prin a merge în Hawaii la Moalani. Ea ne vrea să ne trimită într-o nouă aventură, bănuiesc. No, asta o să fie un actul 2 Natlan, dacă memoria nu mă înșeală, este un act în care vedem arconul Natlan în toată splendoarea lui și apare și un caracter nou, inedit, nejucabil deocamdată în joc, care i-a dat pe toți jucătorii de Genshin Impact pe spate când a apărut. O să-l vedeți când apare și o să vă placă. Hai să-i dăm bătaie. Ne vedem mai târziu.
Problems left behind by the Abyss have been successfully addressed by the various pyro archons we've had over the years. Now every tribe is prospering and things are looking up. I mean, just look at what we managed to do a few days ago. We totally fought them off.
You must have had to sacrifice a lot to get to this point.
Every battle, every sacrifice is in pursuit of a future where we get to stop fighting. Responsibility, duty, unavoidable burden. But I believe we will be rid of the Abyss one day. And the efforts of all who fought against them will become a story for the ages. To think that my name could survive in ballads passed down to future generations, it's kind of romantic. Everyone has something that drives them forward, you know? We have to. Not only for ourselves, but for our future. Anyway, let's head to the stadium. Our fishing trip can wait until Kachina's back with us. The sea's not going anywhere.
Whoa, this place is packed already!
Of course. No one's gonna miss out on the chance to welcome our heroes back from battle. Kachina's gonna be so flustered. She's never had this many eyes on her before.
Yeah, she doesn't seem like the kind of person who likes being the center of attention.
Looks like I'm just in time.
Kanich, you're here!
Yeah, a commission ran longer than expected, but I made it. I heard about the incident with your tribe, Mualani. Is everyone all right?
Yeah, it's all taken care of.
Hey, look! Is it about to start?
That's right. Someone will come out and recite a eulogy, and then we'll sing the Ode of Resurrection together. Come on, let's find a spot with a good view. But let's go somewhere higher up so Kachina can spot us.
Warriors of Natlan, heed the call of life. We are the inheritors of memory and legend. Those who grew alongside sun and wind. Those who forged our own destiny and future. That is Natlan's fire, the lifeblood of our nation.
There is no doubt about today's victory, or Kachina's part in it. She is a hero worthy of our admiration and celebration. However, the failure of today's ceremony is undeniable. Kachina has not been rekindled, and I offer you all my deepest apologies as I continue to investigate this matter. To prevent further casualties, I have decided to suspend the pilgrimage until this matter is resolved. If you want to learn the truth and rescue your friends sooner, you should join the investigation. So, what do you say?
Of course I'll join.
In that case, come see me in the speaker's chamber.
We should join them.
Oh, and if it's not too much trouble, could you drop by as well, Traveler? I'd like to have a chat. Rest assured, everyone, I'll keep the tribal chiefs informed on the progress of the investigation. Once again, I apologize for the outcome of this ceremony. If there are no further questions, let's part for now.
Did she just ask us to come along?
I believe she did. Let's go. I'd like to know what's going on myself.
The situation is urgent, so I'll get straight to the point. Kachina is undoubtedly a hero of Natlan, and I'm deeply sorry this happened to her. There's been unrest in the Night Kingdom, but I don't know what's causing it. As a result, I've been unable to track down her location. Until we find and address the cause of the unrest, the Ode of Resurrection will continue to be ineffective.
And that means Kachina won't be able to come back?
That's correct. Not until the problem with the Night Kingdom is resolved.
How long will that take?
It's hard to say.
Kachina always dreamed of fighting the Abyss. Of doing her part to defend Natlan. She wasn't afraid of death because she knew, if it came down to it, the Pyro Archon would be there to bring her back to life. Whenever we sat down together, exhausted from training, she would always hum the Ode of Resurrection. She was supposed to come back to us. We were supposed to hug her and celebrate with her and share her joy. We supported her every step of the way, but what are we supposed to do now? Sit peacefully and wait for her return? Lose ourselves in grief over her death? Tell me, are we her friends? Or her murderers?
That's not fair, Mualani.
It's all right. I understand your rage and your grief. Kachina's life means a great deal to me, Mualani. Believe me, I want to bring her back as soon as possible. But please, hear what I have to say so I can at least give you a broader picture of the issue we are now facing. Considering the recent attack on your tribe, I believe the Abyss has found a new means of undermining the rules of our nation.
You mean...
The Sacred Flame. The foundation of our resistance against the Abyss. If we continue to hold the pilgrimage and send teams to fight the Abyss, there will likely be more casualties. But if we stop altogether, the Sacred Flame will only grow weaker. The Abyss will scale up their attacks, and the tragedy we saw with the people of the Springs will only be the first of many.
If we compare the two choices, the former seems to be the lesser of two evils. Sorry, I know that may sound harsh, but I bear the name Malipo. Weighing the costs is my duty. The raw truth can be cruel. But we need to understand it if we want to approach this rationally.
But what would you say, Mualani? This is personal for you. And unlike Kinich, I dare say it's not a simple case of weighing up which course of action is less painful, is it?
No. I can't choose between them, and I don't want to. Saying that one is preferable over the other is disrespectful to the people who suffered.
You're saying it doesn't matter whether I suspend the pilgrimage. The consequences will be equally painful.
Yes. What happened to Kachina breaks my heart. But I couldn't bring myself to sacrifice other people for her sake.
And that is the crux of the problem. It's not simply a matter of choosing the lesser of two evils. Either way, there will be people who suffer. And the end result will be the same. Belief in the pilgrimage will waver. Once doubt has crept in, the people will no longer unite in battle against the Abyss. Their ultimate goal isn't to break the rules that make the Ode of Resurrection work. It's to destroy the people's faith in them. To prevent what happened to Kachina from happening to anyone else, we need to suspend the pilgrimage. So that is my current plan. Then, we have to find another way of strengthening the Sacred Flame to keep the Abyss at bay. I understand your anger, Mualani, but I hope that provided some clarity, at least.
Wow. Hyman thought things were gonna get heated for a second, but the Pyro Archon took the time to explain everything so patiently.
I owe you an apology, Archon. I let myself get carried away earlier, and I'm sorry. You're right. We need to focus on finding solutions.
We could always hold the pilgrimage without sending a team to fight in the Night Warden Wars. That way, we would still be able to fuel the Sacred Flame.
I've considered that, but the two events have nearly always been linked. Without the chance to fight the Abyss, pilgrimage rankings lose their prestige, and competitor numbers will drop. With fewer participants, the amount of contending fire produced will decrease, and the vicious cycle will continue indefinitely.
So, essentially, the Abyss is taking Kachina hostage.
You've learned about the concept of ley lines during your travels, yes? The Night Kingdom is something similar. Staying there for a short period of time shouldn't have an effect on the person. But with the Abyss in the picture, it's a different story. Your sense of self will be devoured, until eventually you become one with the Sea of Souls. Imagine pouring a cup of water into a rushing river. You can try to scoop up another cup, but there's no chance it will be the same water you had before. I won't sugarcoat it. That is the danger Kachina is currently facing.
Just like you said, Archon. Both of these problems need to be addressed. You can focus all your efforts on dealing with the Sacred Flame. I will go search for Kachina.
The Abyss poses the same threat to you as it does to her. It is very possible you will not return. Knowing that, do you still choose to go?
Kachina's waiting for us to rescue her. That's all that matters.
I failed to protect her during our campaign, but I can make it up to her now. I choose to go as well.
Traveler? What do you think?
Understood. Then I'll support you in any way I can. The Masters of the Nightwind have a technique that can extract an ancient name from the ley lines. If we can find Kachina's ancient name, I can use the link between them to pinpoint her position within the Night Kingdom. Then comes the hard part. You need to visit the Night Kingdom in person and rescue her.
But isn't the Night Kingdom a land of souls? Can we even go there?
Under normal circumstances, only the consciousness can enter. But there is a way to go there in person. However, Know that the Night Kingdom will attempt to repel you, and the Abyss certainly won't leave you be.
That's fine by me.
Same here. Fighting the Abyss is nothing new for me.
So, Paimon's the only one who's scared? Well, if he's going, Paimon's going too.
Lali of the Masters of the Nightwind once created an artifact that can be used to communicate with the Wayab. We call it the Spirit Speaker Stone. It was originally used as a ceremonial artifact wielded by the tribal chiefs.
That was the artifact I delivered to the Scions of the Canopy a few days ago. Didn't think I'd be hearing about it again so soon.
Thank you so much for your help, everyone.
Your thanks are unnecessary. I will offer you whatever aid I can, but your fellowship and courage are what will truly decide the success of this operation. Besides, you're the ones helping me. I can only focus on one thing at a time, after all. Traveler, I certainly didn't expect our first conversation to be so serious. I've heard all about your accomplishments. Ever since you arrived, I've been hoping to meet you and offer you Natlan's highest level of hospitality.
Why?
Why? Is that not what happened in the other nations you visited?
Yeah, things were pretty complicated at the start. And, you know, in the middle. But our reputation's solid nowadays.
That's more like it. After all, I've heard you're someone who transcends fate. Perhaps even more than you can imagine. But we can talk about that some other time. Ideally, this would be the perfect night for a drink and some musical ambiance. But there are important things to be done.
Oh, I almost forgot. Atea was wounded in the fight against the Abyss. She wanted us to give this to you. It embodies fond memories and my strength of will.
I didn't think this day would come so soon. The flames of her life force. I can feel them flowing within the talisman. If things were different, the two of us could have enjoyed the hot springs together while she gave this to me in person. We're supposed to be hot spring buddies after all. But don't worry. This talisman means a great deal to me.
You said you didn't want to jeopardize the production of contending fire. But that's not at all why you decided to suspend the pilgrimage, is it?
You're right. Even now, the production of contending fire is far from sufficient. The gradual corrosion caused by the Abyss has resulted in a massive shortage of pyro energy, and we're currently at the breaking point. As things stand, the pilgrimage is a lost cause. Suspending it allows us to save our strength to defend the tribes. The Abyss has brought catastrophe to Natlan, and Kachina's disappearance in the Night Kingdom is a direct consequence of that.
We can't let the general public know that.
No. If the public learned that Natlan's destruction was close at hand, there would be immense panic. But if I said nothing at all, they would have continued to question the integrity of Natlan's heroes.
Another simple choice. The latter was clearly the better solution. But you chose otherwise.
I have never subscribed to the belief that the right choice is the one with the fewest sacrifices. Let's go. There's still a way for the sacred flame to last a little longer.
You mean?
Yes. The sacred flame must never go out. Not only does it strike fear in the Abyss, but it's also the pillar of Natlan's stability. So until our heroes are ready, I will sacrifice my power to keep it burning.
But that can only last so long. I think we should focus on the remaining ancient name-bearers.
Don't let desperation cloud your judgment. Those chosen by the Wayab have already embarked on their destined path. It is for them to decide how that journey ends, not us. All we can do is support them.
Even so, for you to make this sacrifice, it's not right.
If not me, then who? No other is capable of sustaining the sacred flame. I possess great strength, but I'm not above my people. This is part of my duty.
Archon, it's the Fatui!
The Archon of Natlan. A force to be reckoned with. The secret of the ley lines is no secret to me. Long have they been destined for ruin. And since the oath made 5 centuries ago remains unfulfilled, what use is the Gnosis in your hands?
I don't know what you mean. But it sounds like this is about more than the Tsaritsa.
In times of crisis, someone must pick up the mantle of salvation. Your plan has reached an impasse, and now it falls to me to create new rules for Natlan. But before the dawn of a new age, the old must be destroyed.
I assume that's the end of your speech? Good. People like us, let our blades do the talking! Masters of the Night Wind. Send word. The captain and his followers must be apprehended.
Are you alright, Archon?
He was a formidable opponent. Exactly what I would expect from the first of the Fatui Harbingers.
I never imagined someone could match you in combat. If the Tsaritsa sent him here, why would he bring up what happened 5 centuries ago?
Yeah. And how much does he know about Natlan?
The Harbingers are all driven by their own personal goals. The only purpose that unites them is collecting the Gnosis. But I'm sure the captain has his own reasons for being here as well.
Whatever his motive, we should shift our focus to the Fatui.
No, we're running out of time. The wound I inflicted should hold him back and weaken him for the time being. Besides, I'm sure you noticed, the power that came to his rescue just now came from the Masters of the Nightwind.
In other words, there are traitors among us.
Not necessarily. This could prove to be a very valuable turn of events. When we exchanged final blows, I sensed an unusual presence within him. I'll need to investigate further. Kinich, go to the Masters of the Nightwind and look into who could have aided the captain. Speak to Lali. She should know.
Of course, I'll head out right now. Do you still intend to...
Yes, but fear not. Natlan's strength has never rested solely in its Archon. Together we foresaw the only path that leads to our nation's future. We must trust in that vision now.
Is everything okay, Archon?
Completely fine. Just lamenting the fact that I never got a picture when I could still turn my hair into flames. Too late now. I just hope the others have a safe journey.
Chaska.
Nice to see you again, Wyna. I'm afraid we don't have time for pleasantries, so I'll get right to it. We're here for the Spirit Speaker Stone.
The Night Kingdom is a dangerous place. Can't blame me for checking if you were up to the task. If you're that determined, far be it from me to stop you. Here's the stone. Keep it safe, okay? It's not like we have a spare.
Thank you. Wyna, how do we use the stone?
As you probably know, your intended destination is completely different from the real world. The Night Kingdom is like a river flowing with concepts, and the ancient name you seek is like a tiny fish swimming downstream. In that sense, the stone is like a fishing boat drifting down the river, but the boat alone isn't enough. You need a fisherman experienced enough to steer it in the right direction. Vichama, a legendary warrior and scout from our tribe.
Someone admiring the scenery from the cliff tops. Ah, that must be him! Hello there, are you Vichama?
That's me. Did you need something? What? You're saying you can bring someone back from the Night Kingdom? How is that even possible? No, if you really think about it, anything's possible in that kind of place. But that would mean...
Are you okay? You don't look so good.
Everything's fine. I'll help you, but I do have a small request. After I help you find Kachina's ancient name, I want to use the stone to look for my friends as well.
Your friend? Oh, why not mention someone named Malco? Is that who you're talking about?
Yes, but I'd rather not get into it if it's all the same to you.
That's not a problem. We agree to your request.
Yeah. Since you're helping us find Kachina's ancient name, it's only right that we return the favor.
Then we're agreed. Can I have a look at the stone? I see. From what I can tell, it functions almost like an abyssal pylon. Both connect the Night Kingdom to the living world. Once the connection is established, the abyss will come surging through the opening like a predator honing in on the scent of blood.
Wow, you got all that just from looking at it?
I just picked up on the basics, really. I still have no idea why it works. You said someone named Lali invented this. They must be a genius. I'll go find an open area and start setting things up. In the meantime, I need you to get 2 things for me.
We'll go right away. What do you need?
First, I'll need some hook ropes. Pretty much every store around here carries them, so no need to go anywhere special. Oh, and I need to build a net out of them, so make sure you get a good amount.
Wait, are you saying you're going to use a real net to catch Kachina's ancient name? How does that work when one's tangible and one's not?
By creating something tangible in our world, like a net, we can create a connection to a corresponding concept in the Night Kingdom. Basically, I'm going to use the concept of a net to catch something equally intangible, an ancient name.
Oh, I see. What about the second thing you needed?
Right. I need 2 chunks of obsidian. Once we bring the ancient names into our world, we'll need a place to store them. Normally, you can only get obsidian from the Children of Echoes, but I heard there's a traveling merchant from that tribe around here somewhere, so maybe you can try your luck there.
Gotcha!
Did you get everything?
Yep, it's all here. When do we start?
I've made all the necessary adjustments, so we're good to go. As agreed, I'll help you find Kachina's ancient name, and then you return the favor. Go ahead. After Malco fell, I scoured the battlefield to see what happened. It turned out he wasn't bested by some impossibly powerful foe. He was dragged to his grave by the sheer number of enemies. If I had been there, I would have been able to sense the danger. I could have warned them not to advance. I've always blamed myself for what happened. But when you told me about Kachina, I realized there's a chance Malco might also be alive, fighting for survival in the Night Kingdom.
But that happened several years ago, right? The Pyro Archon said all life within the Night Kingdom eventually becomes one with the Sea of Souls.
There might not be much hope, but I still have to try. All right, let's get to it. I'll start searching for the conceptualized version of Kachina's ancient name. If you see any fragments scattered around the area, please collect them. Make sure you prepare yourselves for battle. As I said, the stone will link the mortal realm to the Night Kingdom. The abyss will likely emerge in response.
Look at that golden thing. It must be one of those fragments Vichama mentioned. Let's get closer.
Don't stand too close to me. Let's light it up!
Nice and spicy.
Midnight Phantasmagoria!
No rest for the wicked.
I summon thee!
Let's light it up! Going in!
This moment will be frozen.
Wings of darkness! Come, sever night from...
No rest for the... Cool it!
How much longer, Vichama?
Not long! We're getting close!
Vichama!
Quick! Take it! I found Kachina's ancient name. Hang in there, Malko. Just a little longer.
Something's not right. The power of the Abyss is getting stronger.
The Abyss is corroding his body. Vichama, you can't keep going. You'll die.
I should have died 5 years ago. I just need a little more time. Please, I'm almost there. Thank you.
Whoa, watch out! The power of the Abyss is strong.
This power.
Hanging in there?
Malko. No! Why can't I find him? Why?
We can't wait any longer. Pull him away from the stone, Mualani.
I already tried, but the power of the Abyss has him in a chokehold. It's like he's tied to the stone with an invisible rope.
In that case, we have no choice. I'm sorry, Sea Lolly. Get back!
Chaska, wait!
Ouch! What happened just now? It looked like the Spirit Speaker stone was...
The stone's power was spiraling out of control. The only way to stop it was to destroy it. You were all caught in the shockwave of the explosion. You might feel dizzy for a while, but that's normal.
Give us a heads up next time, will you? You're lucky we managed to dodge it in time.
I thought I said to get back.
Yeah, barely a second before you made it go poof. Not ever.
Okay, I'll be more careful next time.
At least Kachina's ancient name is still in one piece. Vichama!
Vichama!
I couldn't find Malko's ancient name. It must be completely gone by now. Once your ancient name disappears, there's no coming back. From the very beginning, I knew there was a slim chance, but still. And now... it's too late to save him. From the minute he left that day, it was already too late.
Vichama.
I'm sure he's heard enough condolences over the years. Let's just give him some space.
Think you know exactly what I'm trying to say, Uncle Wina. I can hear it in your voice.
Honestly, it's just one thing after another with you two. They're back.
Koichi? What are you doing here?
Don't play dumb with your own sister. You know exactly why I'm here. My apologies, everyone. I just need to borrow Chaska for a few minutes. You come with me.
I'll be just a moment.
Who is that?
Koichi, Chaska's younger sister. Although the two aren't actually related by blood, it's kind of a long story. It's not really my story to tell, but I guess it's not a secret. You see, Chaska was actually raised by cuckoo sores. She was afflicted with a rare disease when she was a child, and abandoned in the wild as a result. The Abyss found her out there, all on her own, and tried to devour her. But in the end, all that did was trigger her will to live. That strength of will pushed her to survive. But it also planted a seed of conflict within her. Eventually, she was adopted by the cuckoo source. Wherever they went, she followed, getting into fights right and left.
For some reason, Paimon can totally imagine that.
Well, when Chaska finally returned to human society, it was Koichi's parents who adopted her. At the time, Chaska still had a habit of getting into fights, so Koichi was always taking her around, apologizing to everyone.
Ah, I remember those days. One of those fights was definitely with me. Eventually, she found a way to rein in that desire to fight. And now she's who people call to resolve conflicts. It sounds like she still argues with Koichi, though.
But a trip to the Night Kingdom? If you're going to waltz into a dangerous situation where you could lose control at any moment, it's my duty to say something. So, you're really going to go, no matter what I say? I'm supposed to be your sister.
Then support me. I'll be back. All you have to do is wait.
Chaska. So, that's it. Why'd you have to turn out to be so darn annoying?
You two are something else.
Something you wanted to say?
I know you aren't related by blood, but you two sure are similar.
Really?
You know, I said that very thing to Koichi not too long ago, and it's not my place to get involved. But I will say this. Try to spend a little more time with your sister. You're tough kids. That doesn't mean you have to go it alone.
Thank you.
Anytime. All right. If you're done with the Spirit Speaker Stone, you might as well hand it over. According to Kinich, it's an important ceremonial artifact, so it'd be safer to keep it with me.
About that.
If only Tonegif Bard was here, he could have repaired it just like the Holy Liar.
The Spirit Speaker Stone might be 2 stones now.
Huh? I see. Sounds like it was an urgent situation. If someone's life was on the line, then you had no choice. Still, Citlali's going to be a nightmare to deal with now that you've broken her stuff. I'll explain everything to her later. Stay safe out there in the Night Kingdom, okay? I'll wait here for your safe return.
What is this place? Hey, isn't that Atea's talisman?
Good eye. This is where I store all the various mementos I've collected.
Whoa. I've never seen this place before. There's so many things in here.
It looks like there are items from every tribe. Collecting them must have taken a lot of effort.
I suppose you could think of it as a hobby of sorts. In Natlan, everyone grows up listening to the stories of heroes, and physical items do a far better job of preserving those stories than our own memory. Now, I still have some preparations to make for the ceremony, so feel free to take a look around in the meantime. If you're curious about an item, I'm more than willing to tell you about its origins.
All right, we'll have a look.
The powder still needs some time to settle, so let's wait a little longer. Surely as the echoes of life resound through heaven and earth, so too shall our stories remain eternal. Ancient name, take us to your fated bearer. Allow her to answer our call.
Am I hallucinating again?
Kachina, are you okay?
Huh? I'm not seeing things, am I? Is the Abyss playing tricks on me again?
It's okay, Kachina. It's just us. We're trying to find a way to bring you back.
Everyone, you have to listen to me. I've been investigating the Night Kingdom this entire time, and I figured out what's wrong. The Wayup is being affected by the Abyss. I was waiting for the Wayup to send me back, but then this really strong monster came in and it almost killed me. The Wayup saved me, even though its power is weakening, so I've been hiding from the monsters while trying to find a way to help. The Night Kingdom has become a huge mess, though. I keep hearing these awful sounds and seeing really horrible things.
Don't listen to those sounds, Kachina. The Abyss is trying to strip you of your sanity. All you need to do is stay safe and wait for us. We'll be there shortly.
It's okay. I feel so much better now that I've had the chance to talk to you guys. You don't need to worry about me. I've never been strong or special at all, really. So I don't blame anyone for forgetting about me or leaving me behind. Just knowing you care is more than enough. I'll find a way back. You don't have to put yourselves in danger to come rescue me.
You're always like this, Kachina. Now's not the time to act tough. We're coming for you, and that's final. I don't know what lies the Abyss has been feeding you, but I'll tell you something right now. Nobody here sees you as a burden. You're a victor of the Night Warden Wars, a hero of Natlan. All you need to do is wait.
I'm really scared. Everything's so dark and creepy here. And I want to go home. Still, I don't want you to put yourselves in danger because of me.
All you need to do is place your trust in us, just like you always have. No one fights alone. We're not leaving you behind. Not ever.
Yeah, we're so close. We can't call it quits now.
Be careful.
Looks like we've lost contact. Now comes the most dangerous part. You have to traverse the Night Kingdom in your physical form. This entrance to the Night Kingdom was left behind after an abyssal invasion. Even a brief amount of time inside could expose you to corrosion.
I know. I'm prepared for that possibility.
All right, then I wish you all the best. I'll tell Koichi to be ready just in case. She's very experienced in dealing with abyssal corruption. That face you just made. Don't tell me you two got into another argument.
No, I just feel bad for creating more work for her.
I'll go with them too, Archon. The more people, the stronger the party.
Thank you so much for your help, everyone. It really means a lot that you're willing to brave these dangers with me.
Now that I've lost my power, I won't be able to provide much practical support. But I can still keep an eye on the situation from here. Eon-san, I know it's unlikely, but if you encounter a situation you can't handle...
That won't happen.
I hope not.
Just sharpen my spear.
Adventure time!
So we're underneath Natlan right now? It looks nothing like Paimon was imagining.
That's because in the distant past, Natlan was home to an incredibly advanced civilization ruled by dragons. Humans only established their own society after the fall of the dragons.
So these are Saurian ruins? Wait, you mean like the elemental sovereigns? They had their own advanced civilization?
Yes, a really long time ago. Very few records have survived until now, so no one really knows what the devices here are for. These ruins have been abandoned for a long time, but with the recent increase in Abyss activity, the installations around here have somehow been activated again.
So what you're saying is, we're not in for an easy trip to the Night Kingdom.
No. It's going to be obstacle after obstacle from here on out.
Why are you all laughing like that? It's creeping Paimon out.
It's the pre-adventure excitement kicking in, right guys?
Of course. I'm eager to get started.
Then let's go. We won't let anything stand in our way. Off we go.
Seems like the road ends here. How should we get across?
As a professional trainer, I think you could stand to build up your endurance, Paimon.
Professional trainer? Paimon thought you were a warrior from the Collective of Planning.
Well, that goes without saying. But I actually work as a sports coach. I provide professional guidance for many of Natlan's popular sports. And I don't just mean physical training. I design nutrition plans as well.
Ah, so basically no sugar, no soft drinks, no grilled meat. Those guys look familiar.
We've fought them before. Let's go. Show no mercy.
Nice and spicy.
Everybody stand back! Midnight Phantasmagoria!
What's the hurry? Frostbite. Freeze!
Whoa, the place we need to go seems really high up.
Let's light it up! Teamwork is
As you wish, mein Fräulein. Cool it. Oh, so sorry.
By royal decree.
adventure time!
Freeze!
Shadow Raven, let's
light it up!
Dodge this!
royal decree.
This is the final stretch. We just need to climb up, and we'll be there. Nothing to it.
Easy for you to say.
This must be the entrance the Pyro Archon told us about.
Yes. There's something in the depths of this place that feels familiar, yet also foreign.
We actually have to go in there? Okay, Paimon just needs to psych herself up. Don't push her through before she's ready. Hey! You don't have to drag Paimon! You're pulling too hard!
Looks like we made it. This is the Night Kingdom.
Huh. It looks so different from what I imagined in the stories.
That overflow of energy is probably what trapped Kachina here in the first place.
From this point forward, everything we know about the real world no longer applies. Anything can happen here.
Paimon's more worried about how we're gonna make it out. We obviously can't go back the way we came.
Do you see that patch of light on the ground? It's shining down from that fissure in the sky.
Oh yeah, right in front of us. So that's coming from up there? Oh, it's so high up. Did we really fall that far down?
Just like I said, our real-world knowledge doesn't apply here. We fell all this way, yet came out completely unscathed. If this was the real world, we'd have to climb our way back up to the entrance. But here, all we have to do is stand underneath the light and offer a prayer.
That's it? Right. We still got a job to do.
So that means all we need to do is find Kachina and bring her to this location.
Exactly. This light is streaming in from the real world. It's a link between the two realms.
The terrain looks difficult to navigate, and the visibility's not great either. How are we supposed to find Kachina in these conditions?
Yeah, these floating black things don't look super friendly either.
Those are all manifestations of abyssal power. Be careful.
Ghost! A talking ghost!
Calm down, I'm here to help. You're the ones who helped Vichama, right? Yes, I'm Vichama's friend, Malco. I was completely lost to this realm until I sensed a mysterious power calling out to me. It's like it was seeking me out, attempting to reassemble the pieces of who I used to be. Of course, it could only do so much. I'm sorry I can only appear before you in this imperfect form.
No, we should be the ones apologizing. If the Spirit Speaker's stone hadn't become corrupted by the Abyss, we could have done much more, but we had to destroy it. Otherwise, Vichama and his tribe would have been in danger.
Of course. Thank you for protecting him. I never imagined that, even after all these years, he'd still take such a risk for me. Under the power of the stone, it felt like our souls were connected. Turns out even our regrets were exactly the same.
Whether in triumph or death, you want your best friend by your side.
Exactly. That may not be in the cards for us, but it's not too late for you. You're looking for a young girl from the Children of Echoes, right? She's being chased by an embodiment of abyssal power. I'd like to help her while I'm still in this form, so follow me. Be careful. This place has been severely corroded by the Abyss.
Paimon didn't realize it had gotten this bad.
It's like a seething volcano ready to engulf our world at any moment.
Ouch!
Quick, get back here! You can't go wandering up. Stick close to me. My power will be able to ward off attacks for the time being. We won't be able to keep this up. Let's try another route. This way.
Off we go! Adventure time!
Not good. More monsters.
We shouldn't waste our time on them. I'm going in!
Oh, Paimon can't see anything!
It's easy to get lost here. Just stick close.
Did you hear that?
What?
Never mind. It was probably just my imagination.
Don't scare Paimon like that!
I heard it too. It was a voice from the abyss.
What did it say?
Doesn't matter. It certainly doesn't harbor good intentions.
Paimon just heard it too! Let's keep going. Paimon wants to get out of this place!
We're here, Kachina!
Honey, you made it!
Looks like our reunion will have to wait until we take care of these monsters.
Good idea. Let's go! Let her rip! You're here! You're finally here! Thank you so much! That monster can appear from anywhere. It almost caught me a bunch of times. The Wyap's power helped keep me hidden, so I just tried to stay out of sight until you got here.
Had a girl. You did so well. And most importantly, you weren't hurt.
Should we start heading back then?
Actually, I have a request. Will you come visit the Wyap with me? I can't exactly put it into words, but something's wrong with the Ode of Resurrection. And I know it has something to do with the contamination from the Abyss.
That was the Pyro Archon's theory as well. Everything we've seen here certainly seems to back it up.
In the Night Kingdom, there are 6 main totem poles representing the Wyap of each tribe. You can think of them like the body of each Wyap. Additional totem poles, like the ones around here, serve as proxies to which the Wyap can extend their consciousness. There are countless proxies scattered around the Night Kingdom. Through them, the Wyap can extend their consciousness over the entire realm and track down souls no matter where they roam. But if a proxy were to become severely contaminated, then a soul could become lost within the Night Kingdom.
Judging by the current situation, I don't think we're dealing with just one contaminated proxy. Even if we could drive back the abyssal power from one of them, that probably wouldn't even put a dent in the problem.
Still, we can't just leave the Wyap to suffer. It's protected me this whole time.
I agree. We might even manage to draw out the monster that's been hunting Kachina. Getting rid of the monster might slow down the deterioration of the Night Kingdom.
Kachina? What's wrong?
Nothing. Just a headache. And that voice again, telling me to abandon the Wyap and leave this place.
Maybe we really should leave. Kachina's already been here for too long.
No, I'm fine. I don't plan on listening to that nonsense. I can hold on. Just up ahead. I'll lead the way. Besides, I can still fight, so please, help me out a little longer.
Listen to me, Kachina. We'll come with you, but that's because we want to help the Wyap. Not because we have something to prove. You don't have anything to prove either. It's okay if you reach your limit. We'll be there for you.
All right. The sooner we get this done, the better.
We've already come all this way, so we might as well try to get to the bottom of this.
Let's go.
I'll stay here and try to stall the Abyss monster.
All by yourself? That's...
It's all right. I may not be as strong as that monster, but I'm definitely more familiar with the area. Besides, I don't have much time left. If you're anything like my friend, I'm sure you're not particularly fond of goodbyes. So go. Achieve your goal, and return to the world where you belong.
Thank you for everything.
You're a true hero.
Thank you. No one fights alone.
Wayab? Can you hear me? Wayab?
So we were right. The contamination is already too severe. It's preventing the Wayab from answering our calls. Alright, get ready everyone. Time to purge the abyssal energy from this place.
Careful. We've got company.
Already?
You really think that puny soul could slow me down? Courage in the face of futility is pure folly. He tried to get in my way, so I disposed of him.
You killed Malcolm?
He would have dispersed with or without me. Rather than worrying about him, I would urge you to focus on yourself. You may have defeated others of my kind in the past, but underestimate me now, and it will be to your peril. No, the power of the Abyss is intoxicating. The destruction it seeks captivates like a masterful work of art. I strive only for the opportunity to see it up close. I thought this naive little girl was an exception, but it turns out humanity is full of lambs willing to offer themselves up to the slaughter. That is the tragedy of your short lives. Ancient names, pride, friendship, all empty ideas invented to give you a false sense of self-worth. The Pyro Archon created those grandiose ideals out of pure... Don't believe me? Then ask yourself, why is the Pyro Archon strong beyond measure, while you, Kachina, remain so pathetically weak?
Kachina! Give me your hand. Feel that? I'm right here next to you.
Thanks, Moalani. You're right. I have nothing to fear. Because I'm not alone anymore.
You're right. Maybe comforting ideals don't have any power. But you also couldn't be more wrong. You've never had to work for your own strength, so you will never understand the true source of our power.
What?
The courage we have to stand before you and not back down? It comes from our friendship. The power lies not in the ideal itself, but in our commitment to upholding that ideal, and in our decision to stand together and fight!
Well said!
Let's go, Kachina. It shouldn't take more than 2 of us to handle an enemy like this.
Sorry in advance, but you deserve what's coming to you!
There aren't many in Natlan who can beat us when we're together. It's time he got a taste of that kind of power. Off we go. Let's ride! Check this out. That's a lot.
The fate of this world is already sealed.
We won! We actually won!
That's what he gets for underestimating you two.
Fantastic work, Kachina. Absolutely fantastic. This makes me so unbelievably happy.
I'm happy too, Moalani. Together we really are unstoppable.
Huh? What's happened? My ancient name is glowing?
But it's probably a projection from the real world. But that doesn't explain why it's glowing all of a sudden.
Wait, does that mean you're...
That was a bold move. Diving headfirst into the fire to save your friend. Especially in a place so overrun with abyssal corruption. Still, seeing you pull it off was really something. Everything you said was exactly right. As isolated individuals, it took years' worth of scars, and lots of unnecessary suffering, for me to understand that for myself. The Pyro Archon's plan will unite us as one. Everyone has a part to play. Only then will we have the power to defeat the strongest of foes.
Who are you?
Tupac, a warrior from the people of the Springs. I fought against the Abyss during the invasion 500 years ago.
I've heard that name before. You were the giant who saved all of Natlan.
Since you were able to awaken my words from your ancient name, that means you have fully embodied the aspirations of the Wayab. Under the name Umoja, you shall unite the tribes and save Natlan from its impending doom.
Me?
As long as blood still runs through your veins, even the tiniest spark of steel against stone can ignite a flame. Its blaze will become one with the gaze of all Natlan. Even amid everlasting darkness, our bonds remain eternal.
What's wrong, Moalani?
So many memories. My brain was just flooded with everything he once knew. So that's what happened.
What do you mean? Did you just figure something out?
500 years ago, they foresaw the very crisis we're facing now. Efforts to save Natlan started all the way back then.
We can go over the details once we get back. We shouldn't linger here longer than we have to. I know bits and pieces, but I had no idea Mualani was also part of the plan.
This sounds like something that's going to need a lot of explaining. Let's focus on saving the Wayab first. Okay, that should be enough. Wayab? Wayab? Can you hear me?
I hear your voice, Kachina. My dear child.
Great. Well then, I'm afraid it's time to say goodbye. I just wanted to make sure you were okay before we leave, but we can't afford to stay here any longer. I was going to ask why you bestowed an ancient name upon someone like me, but it's okay. I'll keep searching within myself for the answer. I'll never stop trying to improve my strength. One day, I'll live up to the hero you saw in me.
You are already an outstanding child in my eyes, Kachina. No matter what happens.
Huh?
You are all my most beloved children. It has always been my honor to protect and nurture you. Your ancient name is just that, a name. Much like your parents chose to name you Kachina, I also gave you a name, but it need not define you. Focus on who you want to be. You are already worthy of your name. Now, you need only devote yourself to becoming a better you. The story of your ancient name is for you to continue. Just like your parents, my love for you will never change, no matter what the future holds.
Thank you, Wayab.
It gladdens me to see the Pyro Archon's plan move another step towards completion. But it's time for you to leave this place. The situation here is getting worse. Go now, my children. Save Natlan on behalf of all you hold dear.
I know we've never met before, Wayab, but I just wanted to say thank you for encouraging Kachina. It was exactly what she needed to hear.
Whoa! What's going on? An earthquake?
We're out of time. It's the power of the Abyss. Quick, we need to run!
You've done well. Now come home.
We're back! The Pyro Archon saved us.
But she's not here. Yeah, didn't she say she used it all up?
She's still in the speaker's chamber. What we saw in the Night Kingdom was just her consciousness.
So you're saying her consciousness did all that?
Every great display of power comes at a price. You must feel terrible, Kachina. Just hold on. We'll get you to a doctor soon. Let's get back to the stadium. The Pyro Archon said she'd have a doctor waiting for us.
I recommend getting a full checkup, just to make sure no damage gets left behind.
Paimon feels okay. What about you, Traveler? Right. You always seem to do pretty well against the Abyss.
Let's get going. We need to share what we learned in the Night Kingdom as well.
Right. The Wayup mentioned something about the Pyro Archon's plan. What is it exactly?
I'll let her explain everything. We're all a part of the plan now. Every move we make from here on out will decide Natlan's ultimate fate.
All right. There's so much to discuss, I don't even know where to begin. You've seen it for yourselves now. The devastation in the Night Kingdom. I'll get straight to the point. Natlan is on the verge of destruction. It's very possible our nation has less than a year before total devastation.
Huh?
No. That can't be true, can it?
That's right. But I've only ever disclosed that fact to the handful of people working with me to save this nation. Our looming destruction is not a recent development, but the inevitable conclusion of the disaster the Abyss initiated 500 years ago.
Mulani told us a little bit about that.
500 years ago, all the nations of Teyvat were invaded by the Abyss. Unlike the other nations, Natlan never had stable and deep-rooted ley lines, so we suffered the worst of the invasion. The battle against the Abyss was exceedingly long and brutal. In the end, victory came at the cost of our civilization and countless lives. Even then, it took centuries of solving the disasters caused by the Abyss to finally achieve the peace we know today. And still, this is but a superficial victory. The forces of the Abyss have merely been driven back underground. Their threat to Natlan remains as real as ever.
I'd never have guessed.
The problems plaguing the Night Kingdom are all the more complicated because that realm is essentially functioning as Natlan's ley lines. Immediately after the war, our calculations estimated that we would have a maximum of 500 years before the Night Kingdom was completely lost to the Abyss. But at that time, we were a nation of the destitute. Our people no longer believed in victory, nor did they hold hope for the future. Our civilization was dying, our faith crumbling, and the line of power passed down from the Wayup nearly severed. If we didn't bring the nation back together, it would be foolish to even dream of defeating the Abyss in the future. So, the Archon had a long and involved discussion with the heroes of each tribe, and finally came up with a 500-year-long plan to save Natlan.
So that's what happened. After finding Kachina, I encountered a strange figure who gave me a series of new memories. Since the plan was mentioned in those memories, I guess I've been chosen to play an important role in it. But there's still something I don't understand. Those memories showed me the Pyro Archon from back then. And it was you.
Huh? But that doesn't make any sense. The Pyro Archon is supposed to be human. It's impossible for a human to live that long.
That's right. The hardest thing for humans to overcome has always been time. Or rather, the natural limitations of our lifespan. A god can extend a human's life by using a certain amount of divine power, or subjecting them to a curse. But As we all know, Natlan doesn't have gods like that. We can only rely on our own methods. A human life is like a flame destined to be extinguished. 500 years ago, I placed my life within the sacred flame. Only by dying before my time could I have the chance to wake up again.
So, in other words, this is your second life?
Yes. We only managed to defeat the Abyss all those years ago because the tribes came together as one. If the Natlan of the future was to have a fighting chance, the Pyro Archons that came after the war had to rebuild the decimated tribes. The goal was to reunite the people and restore the strength of each tribe's Wayab. Once a tribe was back to its full strength, the tribe's Wayab would select a hero, indicating the tribe was once again ready for war. The Chosen would then stand by my side in defense of our nation, just like great heroes of old, 500 years ago.
So that means I'm one of the Chosen?
That's right. You bear the ancient name Umoja, the same one held by the hero from your tribe 500 years ago. It means unity. After your adventure in the Night Kingdom, I trust you've come to fully understand the meaning of that name.
So in other words, you always knew who the Wayab were going to pick from each tribe?
Yes. According to the plan, each tribe was supposed to have been fully restored by the time I awoke. But something went wrong along the way. The 6 heroes successfully inherited the ancient names from 500 years ago, but the intel regarding the plan wasn't passed on to them. Once again, it comes down to the deterioration of the Night Kingdom. Communication between the Sacred Flame and the Wayab has been blocked.
Just like how the Ode of Resurrection failed to bring Kachina back.
Exactly. It's just another tactic the Abyss is using against us. The Abyss may not possess intelligence, but its methods certainly aren't easy to counter. If we want to unblock that information from being passed on, my presence alone isn't enough. So, I've tried my best to help them from the sidelines. Currently, Shilonen of the Children of Echoes, Kinich of the Scions of the Canopy, and Iansan of the Collective of Plenty have all been acknowledged by their names. During your adventure, you too earned the acknowledgement of your Wayab, Mualani. In the process, you gained the memories stored within your name.
But we have less than a year!
Yes, but we have no choice. We cannot start the plan until all the heroes have been gathered. That's also why I haven't been able to take action despite the urgency of the situation.
But if you knew this whole time, why didn't you just tell me about my role in all this?
Perhaps, but the opposite could also be true. Knowing your destiny too early could mean failing to realize your full potential. Just like your determination to save Kachina, I hope your commitment to this endeavor comes from your own strength of will, rather—
So I suppose you're not going to tell us who the final 2 heroes are then?
That's right. Their time is yet to come. Putting pressure on them beforehand will only hinder their development. I can only trust in the judgment of the Wayab. I have never believed I could solve this crisis alone. In fact, it was precisely because I chose to trust and rely on others that we managed to get this far. Natlan's salvation lies not in its Archon or any singular individual, but in us all. You're quite perceptive, aren't you? I thought I might get away with avoiding the topic.
Huh? Oh, right! All the stuff you stored here before, where did it all go?
Even though I sacrificed my power, I still needed a contingency plan to ensure you would make it back from the Night Kingdom. After all, I was the one who allowed you to take that risk, and Mualani has an important role to play in my plan. In addition to their sentimental value, the items I stored here held a much more important purpose. Fuel.
Fuel? Ah, so back then, that's why you...
Yes. The stories embodied by those items are certainly important, but there's an even more significant trait they all share. Every item belonged to a hero of Natlan. Over time, they became imbued with a certain amount of contending fire from being carried in battle. On their own, each item's power is limited, but together, their combined effect can prove quite useful in a dire situation. By burning those items, I was able to activate the contending fire stored within them to open the boundary between the two worlds. It was a rather crude approach, so all their power was depleted in an instant, as you can see.
But aren't they all precious treasures? What about their stories?
That's exactly why I dragged you all here. No matter what, I never wanted the Pyro Archon to have to use that power. Oh, I'm so sorry.
You have nothing to be sorry for. You all deserve my thanks, actually. If you hadn't saved the totem pole, that area of the Night Kingdom would have been forever lost to the Abyss. And then, it would only be a matter of time before the Children of Echoes was met with disaster. Besides, when those heroes entrusted their belongings to me, or the Pyro Archon of their time, it was out of a desire to contribute to Natlan's survival. If they knew those items helped save the present-day heroes of Natlan, they would not mourn their loss.
Even when you put it that way, I still feel bad.
There's no need. Remember what I told you about time? The people and the events of the past are never truly lost to us. We simply carry them with us in a different form. If you still have regrets, let them fuel your resolve in the battles to come. Your deeds will become new legends and nurture new forms of power
Well, we'd still like to return the favor.
Well, if that's the case, just treat me to a drink sometime. Now that Kachina has returned, we can finally hold the victory feast and celebrate your team's triumph in the Night Warden Wars. And we could all use the rest, that's for sure. Plus, you'll be able to silence everyone who doubted you once and for all, Kachina.
Still, now that I know the danger we're facing, having a victory feast doesn't feel right.
Try not to let it get to you. It's important to stay calm. Worrying about it will only affect your judgment. All right. You should head out. I'll join you in a bit.
When I was young, I used to sit by the hot springs. They attract people from all walks of life. Friends come easy here, no matter what tribe you're from. The people of the springs have never claimed the hot springs as their own private property. They are there to bring all hot spring buddies together. It's been really nice, seeing the children of my tribe get older. It's helped me gradually understand the true value of the springs. I've witnessed their energy, their determination, their absolute passion for life. Even when they cause trouble, I never managed to hold on to my anger for long. I'm certain Mualani will become a great warrior when she grows up. One day, when I'm no longer in fighting form, I'll come here and tell stories to all the children, just like those warriors did for me. So you better get busy, Pyro Archon, or I'll end up running out of stories.
Our nation is engulfed in darkness. Our tribes stand divided, and yet you promise victory in the distant future. The Abyss is a cunning enemy, one that I faced in battle many times. Were that not the case, I would never understand exercising this degree of caution. My rage will never know absolution, and my power will no longer aid you in victory. But you came to me because you knew you could convince me with just a single sentence. I understand your choice. The heroes of today will forge the path ahead with blood and fire. Just remember to earn us the victory we are owed. Otherwise, rest assured, I'll find a way to collect the debt. For Natlan.
So, you're gonna head 500 years in the future to serve as the Pyro Archon again? But what about the you from right now? You're just gonna die.
You can't ask her those questions and expect her to answer, my dear. The decision is hers to make, and she deserves our support. We will do everything we can to rebuild the tribes. Don't you worry. Even across time, we will all do our part to fight for Natlan's future.
Yeah, Mom's right. We'll always believe in you, sis. Seriously though, Dad should be here. Where is he?
I imagine he didn't know what to say, so he chose not to come at all. Don't take it to heart, my dear. That's just who he is. Just remember, no matter what happens in the future, we will always love you.
I'll come find you one day. I know I can't live that long, but I'll think of something. There has to be a way for us to meet again one day. If there's an answer out there somewhere, I'm gonna find it. So, don't forget about me.
If that's your decision, then you have my full support, Archon.
May our children live to see such a lovely son.
For Natlan!
No one fights alone. The rules are my legacy. They shall grant us the strength to overcome the next tragedy.
War forged the 6 tribes, taught us how to fight, instilled in us what it means to love.
Who will be the one to bring this to an end?
We are the inheritors of memory and legend. Those who grew alongside sun and wind. Those who forged our own destiny and future. That is Natlan's fire. The lifeblood of our nation.
Let's give a huge round of applause to our brave young warrior, Kachina!
Well done, Kachina! Thank you, everyone! I'm so glad I finally made it!
Ah, you're here. Have some fruit juice. I got it specially for you two.
How did you know? That's Paimon's favorite!
You look like you've still got questions. Ask away. Because they had their own lives to live. The thought of telling them, abandon your families and everyone you love, and come with me to the end of time, for in 500 years Natlan will be destroyed, it seemed too cruel. You could just as easily point out that everything in this world would come to an end eventually. But life is short, and beyond a point, it just doesn't seem real. Imagine if I said, let's leave right now, and go save the sun because it'll flame out in a few million years. It would sound quite ridiculous. I couldn't make them shoulder that burden with me. Besides, every generation will have its heroes, this one included. The plan could still work without them, or, of course, without me. But since I was the one who came up with the plan, I felt duty-bound to see it through to the end.
Paimon's suddenly remembering that portrait in your room. Was that your family from back then?
Yes, it was. So when you asked me who my sister grew up to be, the truth is that very little information survives. From what I've been able to piece together, I can conclude with a reasonable degree of confidence that she ended up as an architect and artist. She played an instrumental role in rebuilding the scions of the Canopy tribe, designing and building many houses. Still, it was an impressive achievement, and I'm very proud of her. You feel loss keenly. It seems to stir up feelings of regret in you. But this is something I have long since come to terms with. This is a war, and there can be no war without loss. I am already far more fortunate than those who lost their lives to the Abyss. The people of Natlan look to me as their Archon, and the weight of their expectations is mine to bear.
Yeah, doesn't that mean the way everything ends has already been written, including your plan?
I suppose, but so what? Don't forget, time takes many forms. The past, present, and future coexist, and all are equally important. Even if the future ends in destruction, there's still no reason to give up on the here and now. And it's precisely because we humans cannot know our fate that we will never give up on our struggle. This is a pivotal moment. We are still 2 heroes short. Well, 3 to be precise. There's one further hero who I'm hoping to get on my side, whatever it takes. Your resistance to the corrupting power of the Abyss is truly remarkable. It would easily make you an all-important figure in the upcoming battle. If you agree to join us, you will not only gain my full support in your journey, but I will also forge a brand new ancient name for you.
Ancient names can be forged?
They can. Several strict conditions must be met, but if they couldn't be forged at all, then the number of them in circulation would have long dwindled to 0. Possessing an ancient name would mean that your adventures in Natlan are recorded in full. Your stories would be remembered by our people for all the years to come. The Ode of Resurrection may have temporarily lost its power, but still, take this as my personal guarantee that I shall never let you fall. Just like in the Night Kingdom, I will be there for you. That is a promise I will fulfill at all costs. This—
Yeah, we can't just ignore the situation here.
Wonderful. Then I'll reach out to Shilonen right away. She's the one who will forge the name. We've never forged an ancient name for an Outlander before, but I trust she'll find a way.
My lord, we've received word that the Pyro Archon has lost much of her power. Although your injury complicates things, this is most certainly the opportune time to seize the Gnosis.
Victory and defeat are rules, not outcomes. I have never taken advantage of an opponent in a time of weakness, and I don't intend to start now. As for you, I must confess, I did not expect that little trick of yours to save the day.
No matter how dense the fog, as long as the sun remains, we cannot turn day into night. She could have dispelled it. She simply chose not to. You don't have much time, and you're injured on top of that. What do you plan to do next?
I'm beginning to see just how useful you may turn out to be. You heard something from here, didn't you?
Și uite așa terminarăm și actul 2 din Natlan. Am salvat-o pe Căcina, l-am întâlnit și pe El Capitano, am văzut și pe Sor Saluceasca. Ce am mai făcut? Am vorbit despre istoria lui Natlan, că e pe cale de dispariție, că Mavoica a trăit 500 de ani, că și-a pierdut puterile, dar de fapt nu și-a pierdut puterile și așa mai departe. Actul 3 va fi un act, zic eu, de uzură cu și mai multă vorbăraie. S-ar putea să-l includ în video ăsta sau s-ar putea să fac un video separat. De acum depinde. Dacă durează prea mult, o să fac un video separat. Ne vom întâlni în acest act cu bunicuța Citlali și cu Silonen. Astea, toate aceste personaje noi, Mavoica, Citlali, Silomen și cine a mai fost? Mulani, Chinici, toți au fost pe bannere. Arc Conquest-ul a fost lansat în Arc Conquest-ul de Natlan a fost lansat în 9 octombrie 2024, deci aceste quest-uri sunt destul de recente. Cam cu o lună înainte să mă apuc eu să fac canalul. Am și 7 dorințe, după cum vedeți, 7 primogems. Sperăm să ajungem până la sfârșitul lunii la 34 ăsta, care îl vreau eu la Star Glitters. Nu mi-ar să rudem cu un Bennett, că cine m-am săturat, am văzut-o prea mult în video ăsta. Unde sunt acum? Sunt pe o insulă secretă, care nu are nicio semnificație, n-am găsit nimic palpitant pe ea decât niște minereuri, niște ores. Unde e insula asta? E aici, da? Cu ce am ajuns pe ea? Am ajuns cu un băiat de ăsta, cu un notător de ăsta, saurian înotător. Acolo l-am lăsat, da? Deci o insulă așa mai mult de fantezie, de palmares, are un waypoint aici, s-ar putea sau să fie important în viitor, dacă se mai descoperă ceva din Natlan, nu contează. V-am zis că există aici încă 5 primogems, da? Dacă vreți să luați, dacă sunteți disperați pentru primogems. Am făcut o mică greșeală, am fost până aici, la acest... Am vrut să iau acel Statue of the Seven, însă m-am întâlnit cu aceste bufnițe sauriene, da, și am pornit un story questline pe care nu aveam nevoie. Nu contează. O să ajungem noi și la bufnițele astea și la triburile astea de aici. Până una alta începem actul 3 din Arc Conquest Natlan, numit Beyond the Smoke and Mirrors, dincolo de fațadă. Ok, hai să dăm bătaie.
Time. Weather's not bad today. Oh.
Shilonen, I brought the person who needs an ancient name. He's super amazing, and I've already learned tons of stuff from him. I can vouch that he's really worthy of a hero's name.
Ah, yes, so I've heard. So young, and yet you've already got quite the reputation. Wait, are you Outlanders?
Yep, we're travelers who just arrived in Natlan not too long ago.
No, I mean, I was aware that you're travelers. It's just no one told me that you're Outlanders.
Huh? You're saying the Pyro Archon didn't tell you?
No, the only thing she said is that a new hero had pledged himself to the plan. But we'd need to forge an ancient name to ensure he'd be able to return safe and sound. And she did mention that it would be quite difficult to forge an ancient name for them, but at the time, I thought she was just commenting on my skills. Only memories and experiences that have been acknowledged by the Wyab can be used as a basis for an ancient name. Well, every tribe has their own Wyab. How do we know if the one you met is indeed the best one for us to talk to?
Plus, considering the unprecedented nature of this situation, I have a feeling that the acknowledgement of one wayab alone would probably not be enough. I don't know. That requires a level of knowledge that I do not possess. We need to find a consultant who's an expert on all things Night Kingdom and Wayab. The first person who comes to mind is Seatlali at the Masters of the Nightwind, the one we call Granny Eatstali.
Oh, we've heard that name before. We used her spirit speaker stone to find Kachina's ancient name. A person who can make something like that must be pretty impressive. I'm unsure she'd be able to help.
Still, she's older now and quite eccentric. I'm sorry to put this on you, Kanich. It's just that you're probably the only person who knows how to deal with her. Oh, wait, so Kachina and the Traveler also know about the plan?
Mm-hmm. Because we all saw a hero of the past rematerialize right before our eyes. And then Moalani said that a ton of knowledge and memory suddenly flooded her brain. The Pyro Archon explained everything when we came back from the Night Kingdom, including the reason behind the appearance of the hero, as well as the current state of the Night Kingdom.
Right. She mentioned there are 6 heroes and that Shilonen is one of 4 that have already been acknowledged.
Oh, well, then I suppose there's no need to keep any secrets between us.
Paimon doesn't see anybody. Seems she's just not gonna show up, huh?
Well, we tried to be as considerate as we could, but she's under no obligation to help.
That might be true, but this is still a request from the Pyro Archon, right? Shouldn't a subject always answer the call of their Archon?
A subject? Well, if you ask me, I'd say we're all more like friends with the Archon. Yes, Mawika is our leader, but that doesn't mean there's any kind of tall barrier between us and her. The only thing is that she often has very high expectations of us.
Huh. So even though she's super powerful, it sounds like she's actually pretty down to earth and easy to get along with. Unlike that old hag Granny Eatstali, right? Does she think she can ignore us just because she's famous? You all talk about her like she's some kind of huge deal, but she didn't even bother to reply to our letter. Seriously, if she didn't want to come, she could at least let us know. If that's what aging does to you, Paimon never wants to get old.
Oh, really? So, that's how you see me?
Huh? Who's there? Who's talking next to Paimon?
Oh, don't mind me. I'm just a disgruntled old hag, right? Come on, relax. I'm sure my bark's worse than my bite.
Huh? Seatlali.
Wait, you're Seatlali? You're Granny Eatstali?
Yes, Granny Eatstali. But emphasis on Eatstali, not Granny. You must know this trope from light novels, surely. They use it all the time. The young man who's actually the oldest person in the room. The girl next door who turns out to be a seasoned veteran. The wise sage who looks like a little kid. Oh, wipe that look off your face! You've seriously never seen an older lady that doesn't look her age? Okay, well, don't go thinking it's a trick either. See? I'm barely wearing any makeup.
Did I forget to mention, she's called Granny, but she's actually pretty young. It was an honest mistake. I guess we've just gotten used to it.
I'm sorry. So, how old are you actually?
What? How dare you? Don't you know it's rude to ask a lady her age?
Paimon really didn't mean to offend you. It's just that your case seems really unique. Oh, Paimon just wanted to apologize, but now she's putting more and more of her foot in her mouth.
It was my idea to invite you here, Seatlali. So if you're upset, you can just take it out on me.
All right. I was only joking. I didn't mean to chastise anyone. There's really no need to take all this so seriously. If anything, I'm gonna feel awkward if we keep this going. I received Kanich's letter and was planning to attend this meeting. Since I had already decided to come, I figured there was no need to draft a reply that simply said, understood. Besides, just showing up is the most important part, no? But, of course, it's also natural for people to get held up by one thing or another as they're trying to leave the house. It certainly was a bit awkward to see that everyone else had arrived before me. At first, I was thinking of quietly sneaking over, but since you were already here waiting for me, I started to think about how I should phrase my apology. Only to hear you all talking smack about me. Anyway, that's the whole story. Honestly, it's not like I owed you an explanation anyway.
What's with that expression? Was she feeling embarrassed just now?
When the Masters of the Night Wind say they struggle dealing with her, I wonder if the feeling is mutual. She seems to be pretty awkward herself. Everything she does and says seems a little forced.
Anyway, Shilonen, I heard that you require my help in crafting an ancient name.
Correct. The situation isn't like anything we've handled before. Let me explain.
I see. So Mawika has asked you to forge an ancient name for an outlander. Well, that would be a first. And you've also heard all about Auroron. I must say, he's always been a good kid. I can't see him joining the Fatui of his own volition. He must have been coerced somehow.
Yeah, that's what we came here to ask you. We'll help bring Auroron back if you help us solve the problems of forging the ancient name. What do you think?
I suppose I'll just call you Traveler for now. Traveler, come here. Let me take a good look at you. Wealth leads to unending conflicts between people. Yet you alone transcend the value of gold. Baleful thunder and wrathful waves bring terror to mortal hearts. Yet again and again, you've braved them to find new worlds. O weary yet free soul, even the most verdant leaf in the forest will pray for your happiness and safe passage. Those are all the things that I could see in you. You've experienced far more than even most mortals could dream of. You possess the heart of a sincere hero, along with the conviction to lift a torch above your head and walk headlong into the night. Huh? Don't move. There's something here.
Huh? What thing? Don't scare Paimon. Is the Traveler gonna be okay?
Shoo! That should do it. You've just returned from the Night Kingdom, so some fragments of souls were still stuck to your body. No need to worry. I've just cleared out the last of them.
Isn't that kinda like having part of a ghost come back with you?
It's nothing as serious as that. If left unattended, the most it could do is stir up some chaos in your mind, and generally worsen your mood.
Well, in that case, better to get rid of them.
It was nothing. Shilonen, let's follow your proposal. Once you've brought Auroron back, I'll take you to see the Lord of the Night.
The Lord of the Night? But don't we need to talk to the Wayab of the tribes?
Something this important is beyond their jurisdiction. Only the Lord of the Night can decide whether we can grant an ancient name to one who does not hail from our lands. The Lord of the Night is an ancient entity that rules over the entire Night Kingdom, constantly borrowing the power of the sacred flame to combat corrosion from the abyss.
Oh, so you're basically saying it's even more powerful than the Wayab of the tribes. Well, that sort of makes sense, being the lord of the entire Night Kingdom and all.
Not exactly. It's not so much that one's more powerful than the other. But never mind. That's not important. It would take too much time to explain. Just listen carefully to what I'm about to tell you. The Lord of the Night is currently in a deep slumber, and we can only communicate with its consciousness while in a trance. In other words, in a dream. But I will need to prepare a few more things if we are to hold a ceremony to achieve the state of the trance. I'll make a list. Can any of you get everything for me?
I can go. It'll probably be a long list, so better leave it to someone who knows all the local vendors.
Sounds good. Then we'll go with St. Lolly to track down Auroron.
Adventure time!
This is the spot. An eyewitness claimed to have seen Auroron speaking to some Fatui soldiers here. I don't know how much you're willing to believe me, but Auroron really is a good kid. I see no reason why he'd suddenly get involved with the Fatui. I'm convinced that what the witnesses saw was actually the Fatui coercing him. Or perhaps trying to extract information. However, I doubt anyone would believe me, given there are no signs of a fight.
Didn't Kanich say that she's a big name in Natlan? Feels kinda weird to see her so frustrated and helpless like this.
Auroron? Well, he was left at the side of the road as an infant. And the people of the tribe took him in. You could say that everyone had a hand in raising him. He learned a lot from us. And once he reached adulthood, he built himself a house out in the countryside. He spends most of his days growing vegetables and raising aphids, living off of what he harvests from the garden. He's always been such a good kid. He would even get his friends to deliver whole bags of fresh produce to my place. Oh well, let's keep looking. He can answer all of our questions once we find him. He's been raising phlogiston aphids for a long time, and since they were disturbed, they secreted a special type of phlogiston. We can use that substance to track his movements. Let's follow the phlogiston trail.
Huh? What trail? Paimon doesn't see anything.
Oh, right. I forgot your eyes don't naturally perceive such things. Here, give me your hand. How about now?
What do you see? Whoa, Paimon can see it now too!
That's right. I used a spell to temporarily transfer a portion of my senses to you. For a short while, you'll be able to see the phlogiston too.
Wow, you can even share your senses with us? First time Paimon's heard anything like that.
It requires a very rare spell that most people aren't adept at. But don't worry, it's a cinch for me. Between the two of you, it seems the Traveler's senses are a bit stronger than Paimon's. When I held your hand just now, I could sense that you've got a great affinity for phlogiston. You're extraordinarily gifted. Anyway, we'll need to use our vision now to track down Auroron. Good luck, you two.
Over here, this way! See, Lolly might say a lot of deep and confusing stuff, but this spell of hers is really something.
What does she mean by deep and confusing? As far as elderly shamans go, I'd say that I'm already pretty easy to talk to. Is there any other old hag who's as fluent in the language of the youth as me? But is my way of speaking still not trendy enough? I've already tried my best to match their speech patterns. But given the looks on their faces just now, or perhaps I'm still not fashionable enough? But that can't be, right? Don't tell me they're still getting the impression that I'm super old-fashioned.
Huh? Was that Seat Lolly's voice?
Now that I think about it, it's a good thing I found some helpers this time. Some things are best done with the help of friends. Oh? They appear to be feeling quite confident. Looks like our work will go smoothly.
Hey, looks like there's a new camp over there. Yep. Judging by Paimon's experience as a guide, it definitely looks like people set up camp here.
Wait. The phlogiston here is a bit odd. Let me see.
Paimon sees a small shape here. Could it be some sort of symbol?
This is a distress signal for the Masters of the Night Wind. Only someone from our tribe would recognize it. So Auroran was indeed being threatened. We've got to find him. Fast. Leaving such a subtle mark implies that he was trying to be discreet. In other words, he was probably under the Fatui's watch. If they notice us, we can just charge in and fight them to the death. But what if my darling grandson is also there? I can't have him caught in the crossfire. No, I've got to be careful. Otherwise he'd get hit as well. How annoying. No, I've got to stay calm and keep my composure.
Adventure time! Off we go! Off we go! Adventure time!
There are traces of people staying here too.
Wait a second. The phlogiston around here is jumbled up. I can also smell a mix of elements in the air. Pyro, electro, and some other elements as well.
Kanich told us that you were super amazing. No wonder you can sense so many more things than us.
It's about time that little brat said something nice about me. There are signs of a struggle here. Judging from what's left on the scene, there must have been a fight. But after that, the factions seem to have gone their separate ways.
Do you still remember the little mark we found before? Paimon's thinking, what if Auroran wanted to leave another distress signal, but was caught by the Fatui?
Given there are 2 signals leading from here, we should split up as well. I'll take this direction, and leave the other one to you. Let's meet up again later. Auroran! What the heck were you doing? It's one thing to trouble me, but now I had to bring other people into this as well. You little brat.
And off she goes! Traveler, did you hear all of that as well? Once Seat Lolly left, that voice went away as well. Paimon even tried calling her name inside Paimon's head, but there was no response. So you were thinking the same thing! Paimon also thought that if we could hear what she was thinking, then she could probably also hear what we were thinking in our heads. She did say that she was quite adept at this spell, and it doesn't sound like she's had any trouble with it in the past. Huh, maybe we're a special case and can hear her thoughts as a side effect. If you think about it, she's really got a lively inner world. It paints quite a different picture from Paimon's first impression of her.
So, you can hear the sounds of the wind from beneath the earth. I'm very sorry, but please do not move. I have no desire to hurt you. I apologize that our first meeting has to take place like this. It's just that you're much like one of those animals with ears that perk up as soon as it senses danger in their environment. And given your combat proficiency, I would not have been able to gain an advantage over you if you were anywhere else in the world. However, you're now in the Night Kingdom, a familiar domain to the masters of the Night Wind. Hello, traveler. I'm Auroran, the one you've been searching for. Ah, the Fatui's custody. I see. So even Granny has told you that I was coerced by the Fatui. I'm afraid you've been brought here by a lie, like a false omen in the lingering smoke. My friend and I only left those traces to lure you here. Deceiving you was never our true intent, however. It was simply the fastest and most feasible way for us to set up a meeting.
Greetings, traveler from afar.
Be careful with this traveler. His soul is temporarily restrained by us, and it appears to have become more fragile in the process. It's taking all my concentration to hold on to him.
It was I who tasked Auroran with leaving the traces to lead you here, and I who used the Master's ritual to bring your soul to the Night Kingdom. I've heard much about you from the past encounters you've had with my colleagues. Given the present situation in Natlan, I would like to sincerely request a formal meeting with you, in person. I will use the opportunity to explain my goals and motivations to you, as well as why I mistrust Malwika, the Pyro Archon. I believe there is little reason for you to blindly follow her plan. If you would like to hear our intel, then find us to the east of the stadium. But remember, not a word of this to anyone. I would like to avoid any further conflict.
You will see me again once you return to reality. No matter what I say, please, help me keep this a secret. This is all to avoid dragging Granny into this conflict.
Hey, why are you sitting on the ground? Are you okay?
See, Lolly! He froze for a moment and then just collapsed to the ground!
Could it have been those leftover remnants from the Night Kingdom? Do you have any itches or pain anywhere? Don't worry. We can take a short break. Sorry, I know I asked for your help. But had I known you were feeling unwell, I wouldn't have taken you on this trip with me.
If you're feeling sick, you should just say so. See, Lolly should be able to, exorcise any ghosts or weird stuff that you picked up in the Night Kingdom.
A seasoned traveler must know the importance of not pushing yourself beyond your limit. If you need anything from me, just say the word. In any case, let's take a bit more time to rest now. Need to be more careful next time.
Feeling better yet, Traveler?
All right, let's get ready. I followed my phlogiston trail earlier to a stronghold guarded by soldiers. I have a feeling that Auroran is probably being held inside.
Oh, so it's close by. Then let's head over right away.
Well, I recruited you to be my helper, which means we're in this together. Like the wind and the clouds. We either move as one or not at all.
Huh? Paimon thinks she sees someone in the middle of the camp.
That's Auroron. So he really was taken by the Fatui.
All right, we'll take the lead.
Hey, quit daydreaming. Don't you have work to do?
I cannot see the sun.
What?
Without the sun, I cannot see the truth. You are currently blocking the light, so I must beseech you to move aside.
Huh? Okay, Mr. Philosopher. That's enough mumbo-jumbo.
Wow. I'm going to rip that guy's head right off.
See, Lolly's struggling to control her temper now.
Are you ready? Let's go kick their butts. On my count. 3, 2, 1! Light! Auroron!
Granny!
Paimon knows she's called Granny Eats to Lead, but it's still kind of weird hearing someone actually call her Granny.
And greetings to you too, Gramps.
What did you just call him?
Gramps? Is that not right? You're Granny's friend, are you not? You seem to be approximately the same age as her, so I figured you've got to be Gramps.
How many times have I told you? It doesn't work like that. There are a lot of people who look about the same age as me.
Oh, wait. He's not a child, is he? Don't tell Paimon he's one of those people who look like an adult but are actually only 8 or 9 years old.
Then I told you 100 times since you were a kid. Heed the 3 warnings.
Be wary of beasts prowling around, scammers looking for their next victim, and strange people who appear out of nowhere.
Oh, so you do remember, and you just chose to ignore them. I always knew that living on your own was going to get you into trouble sooner or later. You won't always be able to rely on other people coming to your rescue, you know.
I'm sorry, Granny. I'll be more careful next time.
Next time? Oh, good one. You think there'll be a next time after this? Not a chance. If you do come face to face with the Pyro Archon, the first thing you should do is...
Recite the 3 warnings.
Huh? No! You should emphasize that you were not in cahoots with the Fatui!
How exactly did the Masters raise this guy?
Oh, right.
I see. So Auroron came to the captain's rescue because he promised to help him in exchange for Lolly's safety.
That's right. I'm sorry.
Now that you know Auroron was only trying to protect another member of his tribe, could I ask you to petition the Pyro Archon for her forgiveness?
We'll give her a full report. We'll let you know once she's reached a decision.
Will I need to stay here?
Technically, yes. But if Miss Lolly is willing to serve as your guarantor, then we can release you from custody.
Sure. I'd be happy to do that. I don't have any more time to waste here. I still have other things to do.
Understood. Thank you very much. Mr. Auroron, please report back to the Speaker's chamber as soon as you've received notice of the Archon's decision.
I understand. Thank you. And thank you too, Granny.
Well, at least you won't need to hide your face anymore.
Traveler, Paimon, thank you very much for your help. And don't worry, I haven't forgotten about my side of the deal. Once Auroron is settled, I'll go talk to Shilonen and get started on forging an ancient name for you.
Oh, thank you!
You scratch my back, I scratch yours. It's as good as done. You can just go twiddle your thumbs or something while you wait for the good news. Bye for now. Come with me, Auroron. We've got to find you a place to stay for the night.
Goodbye, Gramps.
We're finally done. All right, it's time to find some grub. Huh? What is it, Traveler? What? That captain? Sorry. Paimon just didn't see that coming. So you really saw him in the Night Kingdom? And he didn't attack you? Oh, that Auroron, what is he up to? He sounded earnest enough just now. Paimon would have never guessed anything was happening. All that stuff about protecting Seat Lally and being forced to help the Fatui, when he's actually been a willing accomplice all along. Yeah, you're right. Still, Paimon appreciates you telling her about this. Paimon will support your choice no matter what, so if you want to go, we can go together. We still have another whole day before the meeting, so we'll just meet with them when the time comes. What was that?
Good evening. Nice to see you again.
It's you. You shouldn't pop up from behind people like that. What are you, a ghost?
I'm terribly sorry. It's just a force of habit.
And what's with you apologizing all the time? You sound so polite and honest, but you're actually doing shady stuff behind people's backs.
You're right. Granny tells me that too. Huh. Come to think of it, you remind me of her. Sometimes you two sound really similar, you know.
Oh, so you're gonna call Paimon Granny too now?
Well, I could. It's all clear. Over to you.
Excellent. The fact that you showed up proves that I was right about your character. Yet, there's been a lot of talk about you. Child told me that you're passionate about the unknown and willing to take risks. Rather than facing you as an enemy, I would much prefer to bring you to my side. If we allow the current state of things to continue, we will inevitably clash. And that's a scenario that I'd very much like to avoid. I've long heard of your exploits across the nations. Though you have crossed swords with my colleagues many times, I know that you are by no means an unreasonable person. And once you've learned the truth that the Pyro Archon Malwika would never willingly share with you, you may just find it in your heart to consider my proposal.
I assume you've already been informed of the Pyro Archon's plan. In order to defeat the Abyss and save Natlan, she still needs 2 more heroes to appear.
Wait, how did you know that? Never mind. Guess that's not important now.
I've long kept a close eye on her plan. To be frank, it's an exceedingly risky plan. Will the heroes really appear? And even if they come to her, will their power be enough to drive the Abyss back? If any part of the plan goes awry, all of Natlan, even all of Teyvat, will pay for her mistakes. Now, you may have been led to believe that this is the only plan available to her. But what if I told you she's had another emergency plan all along, the details of which she has chosen to keep hidden from you?
An emergency plan?
Yes. A way to keep Natlan intact, even if her original plan fails. But given the painful cost of its execution, she has chosen to keep it as a mere backup plan. Whether this stems from hesitation, fear, or even naivete, I cannot say. But Natlan cannot afford to wait until she comes to her senses. My fear is that given the enormity of the decision, she will be reluctant to confront the dire reality we face until it is too late. There will be no time left to execute the backup plan, and all of Natlan will be lost to the Abyss. We have to make the decision for her, here and now.
Yeah, do you have any evidence for all this? Just telling us a bunch of scary stuff isn't enough, you know. Besides, wasn't it you who tried to seize the Gnosis for the Tsaritsa clan?
I knew you'd be clever enough to see. That's right. I did not seek the Gnosis for the Tsaritsa. Since I was defeated in battle, I must put to rest my thoughts about the Gnosis. But even so, my desire to save Natlan remains unchanged. And now, I have found a new way to solve the crisis. We can implement it immediately if we reach an agreement.
Someone's here.
Huh? The captain disappeared!
Something is rapidly approaching. Oh no.
something. Bad news, chump. It's your granny.
See, Lolly? When did you get here?
I knew something was amiss after we were separated. Hidden ceremonial tools, an unconscious traveler. I must say, I'm very curious about what you're up to. How dare you go behind our backs like this, Auroron? Colluding with the Fatui? Really? Oh, here we go again. Cat got your tongue, huh? You really think you can avoid a scolding just by staying quiet?
I'm not trying to avoid anything.
Oh, and now you're talking back. Well, go on then. Explain yourself. What the heck are you up to?
I'm sorry, Granny. I feel so guilty.
You! That's it! Where are my tools? I swear if I don't teach you a lesson right here and now, I'll...
Wait, see, Lolly! Please, calm down. We, still learned a lot of info, didn't we? Like the fact that the captain isn't trying to seize the Gnosis anymore. So, maybe just save the scolding for later, okay?
Listen well, Auroron. You're only getting out of this now because of the Traveler's plea. This isn't over. You hear me? You're right, Traveler. Let's go. We can discuss this more back in the city. You two keep an eye on Auroron for me, okay?
I'm really sorry. It's up to all of us to do everything we can to save Natlan. So I've got to go.
Get back here this instant! Auroron! What is this? Little brat? That's it. The next time we meet, I'm definitely going to break his legs.
What are you looking at?
Do you see two people standing by the door?
But Paimon only sees one person there.
Huh? How could that be? I guess my mind isn't as sharp as it used to be. Give me another bottle, boss.
Do you think she's drunk?
There you go, miss. Oh my, it's not every day you get to see Granny Itzley here with some friends.
Oh, so you've heard of us?
Of course I have. Aren't you the ones who saved Kachina and brought her back? No wonder you hit it off with Granny Sitlali. She wouldn't spend time with just anybody, you know.
Wait, so you call her Granny too?
Well, given our ages, it'd probably be more accurate for me to call her my great-great-granny. She's one of the most famous people at the Masters of the Nightwind.
Huh? Gossiping about me right in front of my face now, are you, Chonka?
Oh, please, Granny. I wouldn't dare. I'm just beyond happy to see you bring over some new friends.
All right, that's enough. Go on now. I'm sure the other customers would like to talk to you as well. There's no need to keep staring at me.
Well then, you have my thanks.
Seatlawi? Seatlawi?
Who's that? You got some gall calling me by my first name. Let me guess. You want to test your skills against Granny Eatsley, don't ya?
Are you still with us, Seatlawi? You're kinda talking to no one.
You chumps come around here, picking fights with me? Well, you know what happens next. You lose, and then run off home to tell everyone about how I'm this big scary bully. I mean, come on. Monster? Me? Really? What did I do to deserve that?
Granny See, Lolly, you're not a monster at all.
Exactly! And while we're at it, I'm not some lazy slacker either. Between meditation, advising the chief, and speaking with the Wyab, I actually have a pretty packed schedule, you know. Oh yeah. And I have to mentor all the new kids. Hey, new kid. Yeah, you. Don't play dumb. Didn't I teach you how to find phlogiston? You see? I know my stuff. I'm a good teacher. You tell him. That's more like it. About dang time someone showed me a little respect. Yeah, Granny's a hard worker, all right. You can always rely on old Granny.
Did she just fall asleep with her eyes open? Oh, jeez.
Behind this pitch-black curtain, a chapter of hatred reveals itself. Behind the smoke. The lingering smoke.
Ah, she's meditating again. She does this whenever she's had a few too many drinks. Her mind's actually racing at this point. It's quite the opposite of sleep.
Is this another specialty of the Masters of the Nightwind?
No, I'd say it's an ability that's unique to Citlali herself. While she can easily pick up everyone else's skills and tricks, few have been able to master hers.
Warning, warning. Red. Red, the color of danger, has now arisen within that pair of eyes. Huh? Traveler? Paimon?
What's wrong?
I'm gonna hurl.
Hang on, just keep it in.
Phew. Okay, it's passed. That was a close one.
You had Paimon worried. Paimon really thought you were about to barf all over the table just now.
How embarrassing. I'm sorry you had to see me like that. That's never happened before, I swear. I've never thrown up, not once.
Are you feeling okay? Wanna take a quick walk and get some fresh air?
There's so much that I want to say, but I can't.
Why not? Of course you can. Just say whatever's on your mind.
Please, Paimon. It's not as simple as you think. We've only known each other for a few days, right? What would you think of me if I were to start dumping all of my complaints on you after we've only just met?
Oh, Paimon gets it. You're hoping that we wouldn't think less of you no matter what you're about to say.
No, that wasn't my point at all. Seriously, don't you youngsters know anything about shame? I'm talking about shame. I've lived all these years and still can't get rid of it. Surely, you know the feeling too?
Actually, about that.
Huh? Tell me what?
Yeah, this is as good a time as any.
So, you heard my...
It's okay, Sweet Lolly. You had every right to complain about those things.
I can't take it anymore! Why do these things happen to me? Hearing me mumble under my breath is one thing, but hearing what I mumble in my own head? That's too much! It's just like when you're rolling on the floor in your pajamas, but you forget to lock the door, and someone bursts in to deliver cabbages and sees the whole thing!
So that, happens to you a lot?
It happens to people in general, okay? Doesn't matter if you're 200 years old or 1,000 years old. Everyone rolls around in their pajamas sometimes. I was just picking something generic. Take a walk with me. I have things to share with you.
Looks like she's completely given up. Like those criminals who just confess everything and accept their fate.
Well, great view, right? I love coming here by myself.
Wow, it's beautiful!
You're making me want to cry.
Oh no, what do we do? Please don't cry!
I was an expression, okay? A figure of speech. I'm just... embarrassed. Let's just have a casual conversation. It's easiest that way. Mawika already told you about her plan. And you've given so much help to Auroron and me. You deserve to learn the full truth. Auroron's not like other people. As I mentioned, he was abandoned as a child. The reason being, his soul is incomplete. The Masters of the Nightwind view this as a bad omen, capable of bringing about illness and misfortune. No one knows who his parents were. He was just left on a rock in the wilderness. It's a miracle he wasn't devoured by some wild beast. The Masters of the Nightwind believe they can see human souls, and in Auroron's incomplete soul, they saw a possibility for Natlan. A possibility to turn Auroron into a vessel for lost souls. The ceremony would allow lost souls to gather within him. Auroron would then be sent to the Night Kingdom to return the souls to their rightful place, strengthening the ley lines and completing the ceremony.
Wait, that doesn't sound right.
Now, you see the problem. When damage occurs to the Night Kingdom, the souls held within disperse and remain adrift, unable to find a way back to the ley lines. This loss of souls damages the Night Kingdom even further. The ceremony can send back countless souls at once, which would benefit the Night Kingdom and the souls themselves. Of course, the vessel, Auroron, would be sacrificed in the process. I wasn't surprised the chief at the time came up with the plan. The ley lines were already in a terrible state. A suitable candidate for the ceremony appears, and now you have the chance to make things better. Of course you're going to take it. When the chief asked for my opinion, I didn't give my approval, but I didn't object either. Pathetic, isn't it? By not objecting, I basically gave them the go-ahead. Maybe they didn't have my explicit approval, but it's not like I did the right thing. If the ceremony was successful, Auroron would probably be dead. Of course, in my tribe, death is rarely something to fear. But what kind of message would we be sending by sentencing a newborn to death? By using a human life as a tool? It's not right. So, when I learned the ceremony had failed, I was ashamed by my inaction, and absolutely relieved by the result. The plan was never a secret. Or, I guess I should say, there was no point to keeping it a secret. A simple investigation from Auroron would reveal everything. Everyone thought he would be happy he survived. And he never really said anything to the contrary. He asks this question. Would Natlan have been saved if the ceremony succeeded?
Wait, but it's not his fault.
He knows that, but he still feels guilty. Auroron has a strong ability to perceive souls, more than any of us. He understands just how dire the situation with ley lines has become. Maybe he chose to work with the Fatui because he still thinks he owes a debt to Natlan. I can only imagine what they told him.
Traveler, didn't the captain say he found a way to solve the crisis? Maybe that's what brought Auroron into this. Anyway, we can't just let things go on like this. We have to convince him to come back. so good, Sweet Lolly. Maybe you should head back and get some sleep.
Probably drank too much. It's okay. The fresh air is doing me good. Okay. Forget that. I need to go home.
Why is it so noisy outside? Pirates still haven't sleep. Well, guess we should see what's going on.
Traveler, over here! Perfect. Our star Outlander has appeared.
Oh, you're all here! But, what's with the whole Star Outlander thing?
Just my way of saying how awesome you are. We've got a real emergency on our hands, so this is the perfect time for you to show off your skills.
Alright, but can we get a quick rundown of the situation first?
The Abyss suddenly attacked the Collective of Plenty, the Masters of the Nightwind, the Children of Echoes, and a number of our camps and outposts in the wild.
Yes, and the attacks are increasing in frequency.
The tribes have plenty of defenses, so they're safe for now. But I can't say the same for the adventurers and merchants stuck in the wild. Chaska and I have been searching for survivors and treating the wounded. We just got back, but we need to head out again soon.
I plan on heading back to the Collective of Plenty, just in case my tribe needs me.
What about you, Mulilani? Where are you gonna go?
I'll go help the Children of Echoes. They're the closest, so I can start fighting right away. What about you guys? We could go together. Yeah, that does sound important. No worries. Just leave the Children of Echoes to us. Who knows? Maybe yours truly will have the Abyss on the run by the time you're finished.
That would be pretty great, actually. I hope my tribe gets through okay.
It'll be fine. Your tribe doesn't do all that bodybuilding for nothing.
Let's part ways here for now. And most importantly, be careful, everyone.
Alright, let's hurry up and talk to the Pyro Archon so we can help the others.
Oh, it's you two. As you can see, things are not looking good right now. Look, I'm very interested in your recent adventures, but this is not a good time. So we'll have to keep our conversation short.
That's alright, we're also in a hurry. We're gonna go help the Children of Echoes after this.
What? So he thinks my plan is too risky. He thinks I'm being stubborn. I shouldn't underestimate the Fatui's ability to gather intelligence. The Gnosis does have that function, but there's more to the story. I will answer you honestly, but you must help me keep this a secret. I can use the power of the Gnosis to save Natlan, but it comes at a heavy price. The Gnosis would drain all the souls and memories from the Night Kingdom and weave them into a giant net, which would surround the ley lines and protect them against abyssal corrosion.
Wait, you can use souls to weave a net? But does that mean...
Yes. It means sacrificing those souls in the process. Souls are just another form of life. The cruelty of this method is self-evident. The Night Kingdom not only houses the souls of the dead, but also our memories and legends. Using the Gnosis means converting all three into material for the net, erasing our history and culture. Even then, the net can still become corroded. If we cannot find a way to repair the damaged ley lines before that happens, then all those sacrifices are for nothing. Given the enormity of the price, it's a solution I refuse to consider right now. I want us to win, but I also care about how we win, and what that means for us in the end.
It's the Traveler and Paimon! They're here!
What's the situation?
There's a trapped caravan that needs our help. We need to rescue them as soon as possible.
We'll go together.
I'm coming too.
Be safe. We've got this. Bring it! Hear the echoes of the valley!
I really thought I was done for. I can't thank you enough.
Don't worry about it. We're just glad you're okay. Let's see. Your goods look fine too. Guess the Abyss isn't after Mora.
That should be the last abyssal pylon near the Children of Echoes.
That was scary, but we did it!
By the way, where's Lolly? I thought she would come with you.
The Masters of the Nightwind also got attacked, so she went back to help her tribe. She said we can deal with the ancient name later.
That makes sense. The attacks are more urgent. Alright, this isn't a good place to talk. Let's head back to the tribe. So, specifics aside, the Pyro Archon confirmed the Gnosis can resolve the crisis, but it comes at a huge price.
And somehow the captain finds out about it, goes to fight the Pyro Archon, and calls her out for having a solution but refusing to use it. Honestly, if he has the same information as us, I can't really blame him.
It's probably because our plan is so risky. We don't even know if the 6 heroes will reunite in time.
We talked to Malika before we left the stadium. According to her, the cost of the captain's plan is too high. And, well, it makes sense. If that was truly the better choice, she would have picked it.
Yeah, I trust the Pyro Archon.
Malika! Oh, Chaska and Koichi are here. Wait, are you okay, Koichi?
I'm fine. No need to worry.
They ran into the Fatui while out on a mission and decided to follow them.
The Fatui?
Calm down and let me explain. Here's what happened. Watch out. It's the Fatui.
Were they attacked by the Abyss? No, wait. It looks like they're protecting a group of travelers. Over there. Do you see?
You're right. That's a traveling group from Natlan. Could they be trading for something? Let's keep observing for now.
We're glad you're okay. Given the appearance of abyss monsters all over Natlan, you should cancel your journey and seek shelter at the stadium or one of the tribes.
Thank you so much. I wish there was something we could give you.
We don't expect anything in return. We were out on a mission and saw you being attacked. It was our decision to help. If you truly wish to repay the favor, you can keep this a secret. If anyone asks, just say you were saved by warriors from Natlan.
Oh, okay. We can do that.
But...
We're not asking you to cover up our activities. We haven't done anything illegal. Our captain simply wishes to remain undisturbed. Nonetheless, the decision remains yours. If we wanted to keep you quiet, we would have employed a harsher method.
Got it. We'll get going now. Did you hear that? They mentioned a captain. Isn't that who the Pyro Archon is looking for?
Exactly. We could be onto something big. Still, there was no trade. They were just helping people in need. I didn't sense an ulterior motive. I didn't believe the captain when he said he wanted to save Natlan. But based on what we just saw, it's possible he was telling the truth.
Maybe we've been wrong about the Fatui this whole time.
It's too early to say. Let's follow them and see what's really going on.
So this is where they were headed. Looks tricky. It's heavily guarded on all sides.
Koichi, wait for me here. I'll go in and check it out.
Oh, no you don't. How are you planning to get through all the guards?
Look, I can use this terrain to my advantage. With our tribe's special way of getting around, I doubt they'll see me coming.
Looks like the Fatui are here to dig something up. I'm surprised they mobilized this many people.
It seems like they're looking for a dragon relic called the Source Mechanism. The device is ancient. Barely any information survives to this day. And even people from Natlan don't know how to use it. Why would this be the Fatui's target?
Not bad. Looks like it's in good shape. This should be what our Lord's looking for. Took us long enough. Come on, let's get this thing back.
Back? Back where? Should we keep following?
You really want to keep going?
Of course. We make a good team, don't you think?
What was that sound?
Uh-oh. We've been spotted. Time to go.
Falling rock incoming! Watch out for your gadget!
What? You'll regret that! After them!
Once we got them off our tail, we went back to observe some more. They'd collected several identical pieces of something. It looked like they were waiting, though. So we decided to come back.
So, Koichi got injured trying to get them off your tail?
She pushed herself too hard and collapsed on the way back to the stadium.
Well, I didn't cause you any trouble while we were fighting, right? So my perfect record remains.
You've done very well. I could make a comment on knowing your limits, but it's not my place.
I know. I'm already reflecting on my actions.
So, our current intel suggests the Fatui is after the source mechanism. The device is a complete mystery, even to us. What does the captain want with it?
I have no idea. But it's safe to assume the device could serve a similar purpose to the Gnosis. Shilonen, I need you to gather every scholar in Natlan familiar with the secret source. I'll start investigating the source mechanism right away. If I learn anything, you'll be the first to know.
Sorry for popping up out of nowhere. Again.
Why do you look so awkward? Oh, is there something you need from us?
Okay, I won't beat around the bush. Oh, and I'm sorry for interrupting your rest. I'll treat you to some charcoal grilled steak to make up for it.
Awesome! Just give us your orders!
Hey, friends don't order each other around. I'm just here to share some news. Remember what we talked about before parting ways?
Oh yeah, you mentioned how Auroran has always wanted to save Natlan, and something about his soul being fragmented. Paimon and the Traveler discussed it after you left, and we think Auroran is probably back with the captain. What do you think?
I agree with your hypothesis. And just now, I confirmed it myself. Auroran came back. He helped the Masters of the Nightwind defend our camp.
What? He came back?
I told him to give up whatever he's doing, but he refused. He said they're just one step away from success, so there's no way he can back out now. Apparently, he came back to fulfill his duty to our tribe. When he left, he said it was because he still has a duty to Natlan as a whole.
I'm not surprised you let him go at all.
I had to prioritize my tribe. Besides, the situation was intense. I couldn't focus on outside and inside threats at the same time. Plus, he was on guard. He knew I would try to go after him, so he made sure to keep his distance. I kept an eye out for a good opportunity, but it never came. All these years of calling me Granny, and I couldn't do a single thing for him in the end.
Don't say that! Your tribe all raised him together, right? That couldn't have been easy.
You're right. Seeing him come back reminded me of when he was little. Running around the tribe. He's not only a child of the Masters of the Nightwind, but a child of Natlan. It's only natural for a child to want to do something for their family. Besides, Auroran is my apprentice. He might have a few tricks up his sleeve, but I guarantee I know every single one.
Wait, what are you saying?
Look. Remember how I said Auroran's soul is fragmented? This is the talisman I created to keep it stable. And this gem is what makes the talisman work. It just so happens that Auroran is due for a gem replacement. Since I can't get close to him, I put the new gem in a supply bag and asked Aoife to bring it to him. You guys know Aoife, right? No? Well, he's a pretty famous vet around these parts. He's always bringing me all sorts of things, and he happens to be very good friends with Auroran. Aoife doesn't know what's going on, so he agreed, no questions asked. Auroran would find the gem as soon as he opened the bag. He knows how important it is, so I knew he would make the switch. He probably suspected that I tampered with it. But here's the catch. The trick is on the bag. The moment he touched it, a portion of his memories were copied onto the old gem. which he no longer needed.
That's amazing. You can do something like that?
Most people can't, but I can. That trick he used to bring you to the Night Kingdom isn't anything special, by the way. My technique is much more subtle. He won't notice anything.
So in other words, we have a whole backup of Auroran's memories in this gem.
The kid thinks he can take me on? Like I wasn't the one who taught him everything he knows?
That's amazing, Seat Lolly. Let's take a look right away.
Once we get to the bottom of this, we can finally track him down. I know he thinks of me as his grandma, but do you think he'll get mad at me for this?
Huh, that's a tough question. Paimon doesn't have a grandma, so she's not the best person to ask.
To be honest, I've always doubted my ability to look after him. But if I stop here, it will haunt me until I'm 500 years old. Every night I'll wake up in a fit of anger. Yeah, you're right. First anger, then tears.
You're just making it worse, Traveler.
I need to look at his memory. Even if he resents me, refuses to see me, or runs away for good, I don't care, and I won't blame him. A family does whatever it takes to protect their own.
You sure you'll be okay? We can come with you if you want.
Did you just say you'll come with me?
Is that okay? We have a pretty good reason to see it too, don't we? Because, right, we need leads on the Fatui.
You really mean it? Fine, you can come. Just promise me you'll see this through. No backing out. Got it?
Don't worry, we're professional adventurers.
Then I place my trust in your professionalism. All right, time to sneak into someone else's memory and engage in some, unwanted spying. You heard it here first. I wouldn't be doing this if I had any other choice. Are you ready?
Look how good you're doing. You'll grow into nice big radishes in the future. And you? Aoife says you're taking up too much space, but I think you're a good tree.
Hey! How's it going, Auroran?
Good. How are you, Uncle Okanbi?
Can't complain. What you up to? Naming your vegetables again?
No, just some idle conversation.
Sounds fascinating. What did they say?
They told me you were coming and that you would take some produce with you.
Only if you're offering. By the way, I ran into Aoife yesterday. He told me Chaska's fostering a saurian at his place. Said the thing trampled over a part of your radish garden.
No, don't worry. I'll find a way for him to make it up to me. I've already wrapped your share of the produce. Here you go.
You really knew I was coming. That's pretty amazing.
Light up the smoke and you can see the path through the shadows.
Hey, have you seen that strange group of people that just appeared out of nowhere?
Appeared out of nowhere? I don't think so.
It's the Fatui. Their leader seems like a big deal. He didn't bring many men with him, but they're all elite warriors. If you run into them, be careful.
You're from the Masters of the Nightwind, are you not? Why do you live here alone?
I enjoy living by myself out in the wild. I guess you're from the Fatui, the one everyone's calling a big deal.
Not an inaccurate description. I'm looking for someone who may be known to you. Citlali is her name.
Granny? What does an Outlander want with her? I've heard the name. You have business with her?
There's no point to further questioning if you insist on hiding things from me. I shall seek answers elsewhere.
Oh, he could tell I was lying and now he's leaving? He gave up just like that? Hey! At least tell me why you're looking for Citlali.
It's none of your concern. I have my own means of tracking her down.
Why are the Fatui looking for her? What does she have to do with them? I can't just let them go like this. I have to figure out what they're planning. They've just been studying the ley lines and asking for leads on Granny. I can definitely rule out some sort of invasion.
The situation has seen no true improvement. The Pyro Archon did not fulfill her promise.
My lord!
Ignore him. He is no threat.
He knows I'm following him, but he doesn't seem to care. He's strong, I can tell. But there's something unusual about him and also familiar in some way. I can't describe it.
What is it?
My lord, I feel dizzy.
A ley line disturbance. Certain presences have been forced to wander outside their rightful realm.
That was a spell from the Masters of the Night Wind. How did he know that? Is he sending those escaped souls back into the ley lines? How did he do that so easily? Soulfaring is supposed to be extremely difficult. This could be related to why he's searching for Granny.
I feel much better. Thank you, my lord.
Think nothing of it. Stay vigilant, and continue to gather information. The Abyss could attack at any moment. If you notice any irregularities, assume drill formation and be prepared to fight. However, there's no reason to over-engage. Information is our first priority.
Yes, sir.
Why are the Fatui fighting against the Abyss? Do they really mean us no harm? I've been following him this whole time and still they ignore me? Do they really not care? It seems like his subordinates referred to him as the captain. Never heard of him before. And now he's headed to the stadium. That's unusual. Oh, what is he gonna do?
You two, with me. Everyone else, wait here as instructed. Send word to the other teams to retreat immediately if this fails.
Yes, sir.
He's going inside? But the Pyro Archon is in there. What does he want with her?
Forgive me, my lord. Allow me to check one more time. Do you truly wish to do this?
The time for idle observation is over. It now falls on me to act. This nation is out of time.
Yes, sir.
He just walked straight into the stadium. What is he gonna do? They're both incredibly strong. How long will they have to fight until someone comes out on top? Wait, this feeling. Just like the other day near the ley lines, it's faint, like a soul's trying to escape. Where is it coming from? Is that why he's looking for Granny? If he dies here, then all clues will be lost. I can't let that happen.
As for you, I must confess, I did not expect that little trick of yours to save the day.
No matter how dense the fog, as long as the sun remains, we cannot turn day into night. She could have dispelled it. She simply chose not to. You don't have much time. And you're injured on top of that. What do you plan to do next?
I'm beginning to see just how useful you may turn out to be. You heard something from here, didn't you?
No need to force yourself. I've never seen anyone match the Pyro Archon in battle before.
I didn't expect you to intervene at such a critical moment.
You know I've been following you. Why didn't you stop me?
When walking in the forest, it is only natural to encounter wild beasts. However, not every beast has the courage to come out and bite.
And yet, one of those very beasts saved your life.
Then speak. What do you want?
I didn't save you because I wanted something. My soul is more perceptive than others. I can sense that the ley lines are extremely weak. I don't know what the Pyro Archon is planning. Can she really save us? The questions you asked her just now, well, I've had very similar doubts.
So, you can tell the truth. That was quite a reckless decision to make. I'm not sure you realize that.
There's no turning back for me now. What I did back there is going to get me in a lot of trouble. You attacked the Pyro Archon in broad daylight, and I used my spell to save you. So, we're in the same boat.
Seem to care little for my thoughts on the matter.
It's too late for that. Start from the beginning. Why are you looking for Citlali? Do you know her?
Explain your relation to her first. I know you two are acquainted. It was obvious the moment I mentioned her name.
Citlali is my elder and my teacher. She taught me everything I know. It's my duty to protect her.
If you truly wish to protect her, you should have let me perish at the Pyro Archon's hand. Yet, you chose otherwise. Do I really need to tell you what that means?
I want to do something to change Natlan for the better. Something I can accomplish with my own two hands. You're stranger than anyone I've ever met. But maybe, just maybe, you can show me the way.
Strange? Citlali is said to be the legendary Granny Eatsley, someone capable of communicating with the Wyab. And the Wyab are the key to information on the Night Kingdom.
Why do you need knowledge on the Night Kingdom?
That is not something you need to know.
Don't forget, I saved your life.
Do you not believe the Fatui capable of betraying a debt?
People can lie, but souls cannot. I can tell there's a weight to your soul, a sense of justice.
You may not live among your tribe, but you certainly know their tricks. I apologize for my rash judgment. You are more capable than I imagined. Let's go. We'll see if you have what it takes to join my plan. I see. Interesting approach.
Worth trying, I think.
Rather than weaving a net to protect the ley lines, this method would address the root problem by reconstructing the ley lines themselves.
Traveler, Paimon. Are you two alright?
Paimon's fine, just, a little dizzy.
Of course. I'm so mad at him. After everything, he still can't let go of the past. For some reason, he thinks he owes something to the people who cared for him. Stubborn, self-righteous fool. Where's that gonna get him? Now that he's all grown up, he thinks no one can tell him what to do? He thinks he can just run away whenever he wants. I'll show him. If he tries to run one more time, he's got another thing coming.
Maybe stubbornness runs in the family. Like grandmother, like grandson, as they say.
Is that supposed to be a compliment? Huh, that kid's got nothing on me. Anyway, back to what we just saw. I don't even know what to make of it.
Yeah, the captain seriously wants to reconstruct the ley lines? What does that even mean? Something like the loom of fate, maybe? But how does that help with the abyss?
The loom of fate?
Oh, it's kind of hard to explain. Basically, it's a device from Conrio that has unbelievable power. Anyway, wants to manipulate the ley lines. Everyone in Natlan will be affected. Oh, this is big.
Which means the captain has been honest from the very beginning. Auroran's memory proves that.
Why is he so obsessed with saving Natlan? Oh, we've got to tell Malika about this right away.
Yes, she needs to know about this.
Păi, dacă n-am fost în fața ușii astea în actul 3 și 2 de Misacrit, ăștia din Natlan nu au un sistem cum era Akasha în Sumeru, să poți să-și trimite informația repede de la unul la altul, internet, e-mail, Facebook. Ăștia au, de fiecare dată când faci ceva, trebuie să te întorci la mai voi ca să-i dai raportul. Și am aflat câte ceva despre... Au fost introduse câteva personaje, Silonen, Citlali fiind cele mai importante. Încă nu n-am obținut Ancient Name de la Xilonen. O să-l obținem probabil până la sfârșitul Archon Quest-ului. Am cunoscut-o pe bunica Citlali, care e un pic dusă și cred că asta e prima scenă din joc în care un personaj se îmbată. N-am mai văzut până acum așa ceva. Mi s-a părut foarte amuzantă scena și în general Citlali este un personaj așa un pic mai instabil, dar are protejatul ei Ororon, l-a salvat pe capitan și am aflat și de ce. Acum, ce cred că va urma în următoarele acte este să aflăm de ce Fatui vrea să salveze Natlan și să salvăm Natlan, nu? Practic asta este scopul acestui Archon Quest, să salvăm Natlan de la distrugere și să înfrângem Abisul, dacă putem. Îmi place Natlan Archon Quest Line, pentru că este un pic mai inovativă decât ce am făcut până acum. Este mai puțin focusată pe Natlan, cu toate că ne se bagă pe gât multe informații despre Natlan și despre diversele triburi. Însă Archon Quest Line este mai mult focusat pe aceste bătălie dintre noi, ăștia din Teyvat și gruparea Abyss, noi fiind ajutați în momentul de față de Fatui, chiar dacă nu ne place, suntem ajutați de ei. Și Mavoica pe de o parte vrea să rezolve problema, Fatui pe de altă parte vor să rezolve problema cu alte mijloace. Hai să vedem ce se va întâmpla. Am 8 dorințe până acum, aproape de 9. Încă n-am ajuns la tempul, așa cum eram eu optimist. Dar dacă chiar vreau să o forțez, pot să mă duc acum să fac un pic de farming. Dar aș prefera să fac actul 4 în loc să pierd vremea cu farming. Dar bun, ne vedem la video următor, video 28, da? Și vă urez noapte bună!